hear. Come on, Jehovah, say it.
Jehovah, you
Say it.
I trust
In you.
in you.
Say it, y'all.
Oh Lord,
Jehovah.
Jehovah, you
I trust. Say it.
I trust
Show me how to do it, y'all.
in you.
I believe. Say it. Say it.
I believe you.
I trust.
I trust
Come on.
in you.
Oh, Lord.
Oh Lord, Jehovah, you
Where y'all at? Come on. Come on.
I trust in you.
I believe. Say it.
I believe
You are the God of miracles.
you are the God of miracles.
You are the God of wonder.
You are the God of wonder.
You are the God of
You
powerful.
are the God of power.
I believe. Say it.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe. Say it, y'all.
I believe. I believe.
Come on, let your feet get heavy. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Somebody make some noise in here. Come on, catch it, Jehovah.
Jehovah,
I trust
I trust
in you.
in you.
Oh, Lord, say it.
Oh Lord, Jehovah, you
I trust.
I trust in you.
I believe. Say it. Everybody say it.
I believe you.
I trust.
I trust
Come on.
in you. Oh Lord,
Y'all got your part over here.
Jehovah, you
I can't hear you. Come on, say it. I trust. Say it.
in you.
I believe. Say it.
I believe
You are the God of miracles.
you are the God of miracles.
You are the God of wonders.
You are the God of
You are the God of powerful.
You are the God of power.
I believe. Say it. I believe. Say it. Say it. Say it. Now everybody get radical with 30 seconds. Come on. Dance on the devil's head. Come on. Come on. Come on. Y'all ain't radical enough over here. Balcony, I can't feel ya. Move your feet. Everybody, let's go. I see you back there. Balcony, y'all gotta come on. Hey, come on. So long, Baba. So long, Baba. Come on, y'all, help me say it.
Goodbye to my pain and my sorrow.
So long.
So long,
Y'all whatever I need, He'll provide. If I only keep the faith, oh, I know He'll make a way. You see, I'm next in line. I know. Help me sing. I'm next in line for my blessings. Tell somebody. I'm next in line. I know. I won't complain. Soon He'll come. Oh, yes, I'm next in line. I know. I took my burdens and I laid them at His feet. I know my needs He'll supply. Under His wings, oh, I'm gonna hide. You see, I'm next in line. I know. I'm next in line for my blessings. Whatever it is, I'm next. I don't know what you need, but He knows everything. Complain. I know He's gonna come and give Him the praise today. Don't complain. You see, sometimes it may seem like I can't make it over, but I'm gonna wait. Yes, I'm gonna wait until my change come. He may not come when I call Him, but He's always on time. Oh, I'm gonna wait. He's gonna work it out. You see, I believe with all of my heart. He's gonna work it out. Whatever I need. I'm waiting on You, Lord. I know You're gonna do it for me. Whatever I need, I know You'll provide. All I gotta do is just have a little faith in You. I'm next. I'm giving the thanks right now. Call up somebody, tell them I'm next. He told me to tell you to have a little faith. Whatever you need, He will provide. Ah, yes, sir. I believe. I can't complain. I refuse to complain. I'm next in line. Yes. You see, I'm standing on the promises. He promised whatever believe, no matter how long it takes, I believe. I can't complain. I won't complain. No, 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 no. I'm next in line. Oh.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang,
Water you turned into wine. Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you. None like you. Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Our God. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Our God. And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? Stand against.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. On this wet, rainy Wednesday morning.
Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer.
Oh boy. The lines are open to you early. The lines open to you. What's on your front burner? But we don't know all roads again head to the parliament. The open of parliament. On Friday, please go at 12 p.m. at the Red House. I'm not seeing many of you, so this thing got woke up late. Nah, the program went live about 2 minutes, about a minute past 6. 2 minutes past 6. It's I and who too long come on about 5 minutes now. But what we gonna say? All I will say is good morning to. Hey, Patricia Reed, good morning. Betty, good morning. Joyce, Rambox, and Nadira, pleasant good morning, Betty. Vidya, good morning to you. Baby, Teacher Balmain. Good morning to you all babies.
What are you turned into?
Hey, Mina Rodriguez, a good morning to you.
Open the eyes of the blind. There's no
Matilda, good morning. Ingala, a pleasant good morning to you. Janelle, good morning. Carmen, good morning. Durat Mohan, good morning to you. Krishna, good morning.
out of the ashes we rise.
Atali Keto, good morning to you. Nigel Black. Primraj, good morning to you. Farmer Kane, Kane Farmer, good morning. Sunil. Rambo Ali, good morning. Jason Mitchell. Damian Acton. Vincent, good morning to you. Hey, Wendy and John, good morning. Natilda. Hey, Nathaniel, good morning, my brother. It's raining cats and dogs in South. It look like the other day, like we get the same rain today. So there might be some flooding, boy. Because it raining a little while, eh? And I find it raining heavy. Zoreda, good morning, Lucy.
To the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you.
I'm Zad Khan, and good morning to you. Komoto from Komoto, yes, Loco and Sandy Jones. Good morning. Alan Okalisa, pleasant good morning to you. Ann Armun Sami, good morning. Ann Brown, good morning. Sherian Prasad, good morning to you. Rambo Ali, good morning. Lucky Lal, a pleasant good morning to you. Rambaran, good morning. Sharon, Ram Prasad, a pleasant good morning. Krishna Ram Sukal, good morning. Michael Scotland, good morning. Gloria Escola, pleasant good morning. Jacqueline Sammy, good morning. Survivor, Selwyn Baptiste, good morning to you. Andrea Alfonso, good morning. Okay, Nathaniel. Very good, Nathaniel. If the government is housing the deportees in Dolce's property, I hope they have security looking after them. Some are seasoned criminals. So they landed already, Nathaniel? Margaret, good morning to you. Marilyn Chicharan, good morning. Royal, good morning to you. Maureen Rampasad, good morning. Hey, Brian, good morning. The Slimy Show. I don't know how the hell he get back. He have real accounts, but again, I'll be making sure all of you will be able to be interactive with each other by putting up the chat. It's gonna be live, and only have to go over the rules. You don't want to be I put the chat on guy all day and somebody cussing and all them kind of bacchanal thing. And I'm glad to do it like that. Cynthia, good morning. Bottom, good morning to you. Oh boy, Denver Mohan, a pleasant good morning, my brother. Denver, you always up and about early. We say good morning to Mrs. Mohan and kids that always look onto the ground report with their father, my partner, Denver Mohan, man. So Darren, counselor, you see I ain't see you. Good morning. Tell me don't forget Neil De Silva. Delia, KK, all of you, good morning. Nasa Hussein, a pleasant good morning to you. Kerry Reed. Darren Timothy, how long I ain't see him. I know everything with him.
Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you. None like you.
Raymond, a pleasant good morning to you. Regina Mohan, good morning.
Darkness you shine.
Hey, Jama C. Prasad, good morning to you. Semantic 62, good morning.
We rise. There's no one like you.
Nathaniel say, when are we going to deport those illegal aliens?
Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer.
Oh boy, Seven Baptiste, say morning. He say Barapo, all of you. Nadira, all of you do that, all of you. He say, when? He say, all the, morning to all the hard workers out there. Remember, it's not what the UNC can do for you,
Darkness you shine.
but what you can do together with the MPs
Ashes
of the UNC.
rise. There's no one like you.
Sensible, good morning. Patsy, good morning to you.
Our God is greater. Our God is stronger.
Brian J, good morning.
You are higher than any other.
Hey, Veronica,
Our God is healer. Awesome.
good morning, Veronica.
Our God.
Michael GP, good morning.
Our God. Our God is greater.
All Jamas, a pleasant good morning.
God, you are higher.
All Vidias, Vidia Cyril, my Vidia Vancouver, all of you, good morning.
God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God.
Hey, Kishan Ali, a pleasant good morning to you. Lucky Lal, good morning. Basdio, Bakhari, good morning.
And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us,
Hey, Sita, good morning.
and if our God
Oh, they are arriving on Friday. So the government already trying to put things in place. But some of them don't have nobody in Trinidad and all them kind of things. Some of them maybe went away for a very long, since they're young. Raju, good morning. Dollar, good morning. Mira from Princeton, good morning. All the lines are open, eh? Lord Kana, pleasant good morning to you. Viram, good morning. Donarayan, a pleasant good morning to you. Nazali and Mr. Ali, a pleasant good morning. Hey, Jama Philip, good morning. Hey, Philip, good morning, Daru. Hey, Counselor, you easy up. Now, well, you will be, eh? Rain falling up there in Grandy. Darren Moana, good morning, my brother, Counselor. How the weather is up there? You done getting calls in Vega there?
And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with
Jack this, Ram that, good morning to you. Leon Charles, good morning.
and if our God,
Dennis Prasad, good morning.
then who could ever stop us? And
Anthony, good morning.
with us, then what
Job, a pleasant good morning to you. Samantha, good morning. Oh boy. And Jackman, how we going? Good morning to you and your family. Mr. Playing good morning to Stephen. And not forgetting to Stefan, a pleasant good morning to you too.
water you turned into wine? Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you.
Kerry Maharaj, good morning to you.
Like you. Into the darkness you shine.
Audrey, you're up, girl. Good morning.
Out of the ashes we rise. There's
Sukai, good morning. Hey, Sharon Williams, a pleasant good morning to you.
none like you.
Hey, Natasha Campbell, good morning.
God is greater.
Legendary, good morning to you. Calvary Spirit, a pleasant good morning to you. Angeli Swa, good morning. Ruben Noel, Ruben, good morning.
Awesome in power.
Also morning to Ruben Sokraj. Uncle Breeze, good morning.
Into the dark.
Maki Thunderboom, good morning to you, Denise.
Out of the ashes we rise.
Also say pleasant good morning to Dennis.
One like you.
Felix, good morning. All Felix, good morning. Elsa, good morning, Elsa.
God is greater. Our God is stronger.
Jenny,
God, you are
hey, Jenny Bell, good morning. Maria, good morning.
God is healer. Awesome in power.
Radhika, good morning to you. Hey, Esther Smith, good morning.
Our God is greater. Our God is
Rohan Prasad, you always watch him. I start early, the program start early, went up live early. I used to just come on about
healer. Awesome.
10 past or so, quarter, yeah, about 10 past.
Our God.
Lucky Lal, all of you, good morning. Hey, let me say morning to my boy Jimmy. Good morning, Jimmy. A&A Doubles, the Iron Lady.
And if our God
Just woman, man.
is, then who could ever?
Emily, a pleasant good morning to you.
And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? And if our God is for us,
Grace, good morning.
who could ever stop us? And
Mr. Gobing, all of you, good morning.
us, then what can stand against? Stand against.
I wonder if my boy reach
with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith. The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Dennis C. Paul, good morning to you. Journey, good morning. Big Ram, all of you. Miss Brooklyn, all of you. Don't forget to also send your voice notes. Hey, Wayne, ex-police, good morning. Nicholas. Good morning, Nicholas. Hey, Shanifa out there in Grandy, good morning to you. Nicholas Adish, Ramnarayan, good morning. Hey, let me say good morning to Mr. Ramnarayan out there in Canada. Okay then. Hey, let me say good morning to Safi, good morning. Yes, and I'm gonna look through it. I'm gonna look into it. Papa out in Grandy. Good morning.
Morning, Ground Report. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago. People, all they still need to wake up and because they're sleeping. PNM suffer us. For 10 years, we had no investment. We had no money coming in the country. We have a bad reputation outside there in the world under Keith Rowley regime. You understand? They empty the treasury, right? And the UNC is trying to build back up the treasury. PNM took everything away that they could have took from citizens. A taxi man can't make a living. A Amazon that can't make a living. The fruit man by the side of the road can't make a living. You know why? Because every time they put out a store, the police running them, right? So Keith Rowley and the PNM cabinet make sure they take a high increase in pay, right? What did he give you, the citizens? What did he give you, the citizens? You all get nothing. Or they didn't get even a 10% salary wage payback. You understand? Nothing. All they didn't get nothing. And all other PNMites outside there living in the same country and suffering just like everybody else, right? All they are suffering just like everybody else. But all they was solo SHIT. To say the word PNM to be under this, they say to say PNM. All the disgusting, all the unbelievable. Give UNC the chance to show all you taking a woman to bring back this country back together on its feet. How much money did PNM meet in the treasury when the HSF fund? $12 billion US. And what did they do with it? It have nothing to show. Nothing to show. You understand? They make sure they increase the salary and they still want to hike up. Right? Marvin Gonzalez still want to hike up the utility rates in Tech and WASA. But all you want to blame UNC for everything. Don't blame UNC. UNC is coming to fix the country. And when it's fixed and everything running good, all you got to turn on your back. You know? All you got to turn on your back. Less like the people who go and deliver from Israel, the Egyptians, the Jews. They always wanted more and more and more. And more God good for them, it was still never enough. All of those kind of people, all the ungrateful. Give my Auntie Kamala a chance and give my UNC government I vote for and who everybody else vote for a chance in this country. All the Pianamites, all the ungrateful, all the tribe that choose Barabbas over Jesus Christ. Thank you, Andy, and have a nice day. They are so upset.
Oh boy, let me say a pleasant good morning again to Dennis, man. See Paul up. Down here, the apple doctor, man. Yes. Oh boy. The apple doctor, you're gonna let me know if the sale is still on, eh? For them MacBook, them, if that sale is still on. Yo, let me know.
Pleasant good morning again. Andy, you know what I'm saying, man? You see, come for this independence coming here now in August. Let me get some maxis all over the country coming down to the savannah. Even getting some of them flights and them from Tobago, very cheap coming in. And let me have a great celebration. Let me bring back the pride in Trinidad and Tobago. You understand? Let me bring back all the love and the unity in Trinidad and Tobago back into the savannah come this Independence Day. Because, I mean, thinking about it, we reach and we need to celebrate and the love and the togetherness with the people. All right? This is my second note. I hope you can hear the first one. All right. Blessings, everyone.
Oh boy. Then they say here in Trinidad, you wake up early be in this rain and lock on to the ground report early, so. You ain't away, you know. Yeah. It's really a favorite program, boy. Morning caller.
Good morning, Andy. What's going on, man?
Are you alright, Mr. Barpo? What's going on up in the Barpo? Rain like that?
What a beautiful morning. Rain just enough for the morning. But
we can't take too much of that rain, you know, boy. Oh, God.
No, we have thing under control. Let me tell you something. I'm talking to people and things, and you know a lot of people now who voted PNM regret it. They say, boy, they make a mistake. They're going to repent. And it ain't a month yet. And you know, this government already do more in these few days than the government, Rowley government in the 10 years that was in office. we already do more for this country and the citizens of this country in a couple of days than Rowley do for the whole 10 years that he in office. And you know what the Prime Minister should do Friday? When she go to Parliament on Friday, she should tell the President here what? I call in a general election. Call a general election. And get rid of the PNM totally. Because let me tell you something. You see that few remaining seats where they have there? The majority of the people realize that that PNM was a failure, total failure. And they go repent and decide that the remaining seat, they go yellow. And then we ever had nothing to hear about PNM and Marva Gonzalez and this dotish one and all them who fighting for power and things right now in the PNM. And that would be our blessings. So if the Prime Minister do so and say here what, Friday, snap election, general election in the country, I could guarantee you that will be the last day you would ever hear PNM voice in this country again, because every single person now realize that they do are wrong by giving that few seats to the PNM, and they're willing to make that change. And they be safe outside there on the road. I want the population to know that, oh, hey, hear what? Anyway, you have to go and reach in 10 minutes. It's better you reach an hour late than 10 minutes dead. So let's take all the time. Nobody can kill you. You can't lose your job or some kind of thing if you take your time and be safe. Safety is number one priority. Let me also be mindful that it's not we are alone outside here on the roads. It have other innocent people that the dotations that we could do could harm them and they could lose lives. So let me be mindful and start to think country, think fellow men, fellow women, fellowship. And let me move this country forward so that we could at least now be a place that everybody wants to live and survive in. Have a good morning, and be safe outside. Take care.
Morning caller, where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
Morning, Andy. Mr. St. Joseph.
Hey, Mr. St. Joseph. Go ahead, my brother.
Great. I wish to comment on the recent meeting with the Minister for Health and Mr. Eastwood. We must remember, I wish to commend the Minister for that meeting. It shows a level of respect on a level in which we didn't see under the PNM. But remember, it is showed that before the election, met with the Prime Minister, Mr. Young, and made an announcement of a groundbreaking agreement signed between Edie Straught with respect to nurses getting increases in salary. And Mr. Young went on a political platform and said he instructed the CPO to pay the nurses the salary. Lo and behold, Edie Straught was only representing 14 nurses in Eastern Regional Health Authority, 14. But he gave the impression that there was an agreement for all nurses in Trinidad and Tobago. A total lie. To the extent that some of the nurses drafted a letter and circulated calling for Edie Straught to make a public apology on their behalf for lying to the nation and to giving the PNM the perception, giving the PNM the sense that he represents all nurses. It was only 14 persons at East End. And the 14 persons were district health visitors and shift supervisors. A total lie. Secondly, he went publicly and said that it was a wrong policy to commission the children's hospital. Wrong policy. All of a sudden now, he was able to get a meeting with the Minister for Health. He was getting to talk about nurses' conduct. But let the nation be known. It is short, TTRNA is an association. They don't have negotiation right. He only have negotiation right for 14% at Eastern. It is the PSA that have the official right to negotiate upon with respect to nurses. But notwithstanding that, I want to commend Mr. Andy, and I want to give the government an advice. I want to give them an advice that we must remember that PNM was in this country for years. And even though PNM is not in office, PNM operatives are existing. And they know that once they keep the officers in position, they can bring the UNC on its knees. And therefore, right now, most of the PNM people are provided a report and a status of what's going on in the various ministries, etc., to our ministers. And our ministers have to be very careful, simply because they must not take what have happened for 9 years from the people who gave them, who are currently telling them what the state of the economy is. It is very important as a minister for health. I want to keep referring that in the NWRHA, the 21 babies that died, and the failure of the current CEO to provide the internal report, which he promised publicly, to the lawyers or take ownership of the responsibility. This is the same CEO who was the campaign manager for Foster Cummings. This was the same person. Same person. So it is important that the minister, please do not be careful about the PNM operative. The ministers may not be there, but the agents are there, and they are the one who provided the information. The rampant, I heard the minister, rampant corruption in the Central Block, rampant corruption in the RHAs. I mentioned one person has 70 vehicles rented in the NWRHA. I mentioned rampant recruitment all over the place. But yet, and the same CEO allegedly was the campaign manager for Foster Cummings. Now he is providing a report to the minister and telling the minister the thing is going on, how he's managing, etc., etc. Be very careful. The ministers may not be there, but PNM have infiltrated this country in such a way they are now advising the UNC ministers. So this is the advice I'm giving. Be very careful. Stick to your campaign promise and do not trust. The enemy is in our footstool. They are not in the PNM ministers. The enemy are in the footstool of the UNC. And one has to be very careful. That's my contribution, Andy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Morning, caller.
Hello, good morning to you and everyone on Ground Report. I'm calling from Princeton. I'm calling in connection of that gentleman who spoke yesterday of state land. I have a serious concern with the EMBD department, which is a state enterprise under the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries. I'm calling from Princeton. These staff members attached to the EM, they are selling state land unknowing to the commissioner and pocketing the money and for their own gain. And I'm hoping that the Prime Minister and the Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries to look into the EMBD department, because the Land Management Division in El Socorro has numerous complaints of these said officers who are going around doing these corrupted transactions with, yeah. I recently had a complaint. I submitted a complaint to Land Management Division in El Socorro, and every time I call, they say that someone will come to investigate, and so far no one come to investigate what is happening. So I have to take it outside that Land Management Division, which is the ground report. I'm hoping that the Prime Minister and the Minister of Agriculture deal with these staff members of the EMBD who are constantly selling land for their own gains. They are using the money to develop their homes, purchase vehicles, build houses, and rent them. I know of several people who purchased state land for $60,000, some $80,000, $100,000, and even more. And why that should continue in our system? The government should look into the state land and allow the opportunity for these squatters to purchase the land. And by purchasing the land, the squatters will be able to, get their deeds to develop. And the government will be able to generate funds that could use to help the country. Don't allow the staff to continue stealing from the government, stealing from the poor people of this country.
Let me ask you something. You're saying that it's EMBDs who defend state land?
Yes. Head office knows that. Land management knows that. Yes. They know the names of the officers. One was arrested in 2018. An officer was an officer I was confronted with. Yes.
Where's the Akalai EMDD again? Environmental what? Environmental
management.
Environmental
yes.
management.
Environmental branch, business division. Yeah.
And how EMBD get all that power to be able to have?
Because when Caroni closed down, the government continued with these offices in the Caroni area, and they don't come and inspect these areas. Everything is El Socorro, El Socorro. Why? Over. They're selling Caroni state land.
The EMBD management, you are legend, is selling Caroni state land too?
Yes, sir, yeah, they are. And people who are listening, they will be aware of what I'm saying. When you take the complaint El Socorro, they don't send anybody to investigate. Recently, I spoke with Mr. Lennox Smith of my complaint I submitted.
Let me ask something again.
Yes.
So,
yes, sir.
So state lands was invested into EMBD as in or something, meaning they control state land legally.
When closed down, when they're using factories and then closed down, the offices, Caroni offices, certain places in Couva and South continued, and they changed it into EMBD. And those are the workers in there doing these racket.
And what ministry EMBD fall under?
Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries. In the past, it was alleged even the commissioner was in racket. Yeah. I went in Port of Spain and I submitted my complaint.
What commissioner? The commissioner of
Pardon?
state lands?
No, I can't. No, I can't. Yes, state land. Yes. It's a big racket going on in this country with selling people selling land and putting it in their own pocket.
All right. So the EMBD's estate management and I just see it going real. Let me just get back that somebody sent it for me.
Right now we have a going around with security.
Right. So the EMBD is the estate management business development company.
Right. Yes.
So so they're supposed to be managing the estates of former Caroni.
Caroni, yes, sir, you're getting it. Yes, you're getting closer. Very good. Yes.
All right. Look, somebody say here that is how Foster get all his lands.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm telling you, lawyers in it too. Lawyers in it. I know of a lawyer who bought a wide variety of cotton, and he has an estate and Venezuelans working there with him. For him, this is how big it is. Trying to stop it and allow the poor people the opportunity who are squatting to purchase the land. I'm trying for this government. I remember when Mrs. Bisasa said, see good, do good, right? See good, do good, say good, and good will follow. Time to heal, and Mr. Barako just said it's time to clean up this country. Why?
Joyce, hold 1 minute. Joyce Rambox, where is Woodford Lodge? You tell me where is Woodford Lodge, Joyce Rambox? Which where that place is? You say they fence around acres of land, and I heard it's a big PNM minister. Well, maybe a former PNM minister. Where that location is, you tell me. So this is what's going on.
I went recently to State Land Port of Spain and submit a complaint. Calling, eventually an officer there told me, take it outside the box, take it to the ground report, because nothing is being done with these officers. They're pocketing the money. Why?
And so, all right. So what officers? Police officers?
Well, they have, it's alleged when they purchase land through these officers, they get their support. Yeah.
Okay.
But the state land.
The officers within the EMBD.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now we're talking about police officers.
No, the EMBD staff, because they're in charge of managing the Caroni land. So they know how to go around this racket. That nobody is looking into that in South.
All right. But let me ask something. What make you so interested in? Is it that you or family member or a loved one supposed to get a piece of that land?
My family and I have been in possession of a parcel of land in Princestown since 1985.
Okay.
And due to two brothers recently who came on the sites, on a side of the property, is using EMBD to bully us, which I had a recent experience, and it is unfair because we submitted documents.
Oh, so you all have been controlling Caroni lands for a little while because they used to plant.
So occupying, we use the word occupying.
Right, well, occupying.
Yes, occupying and maintaining, planting fruit trees and little things.
By law, adverse possession. Only have been in adverse possession.
Adverse, because we have been there on that side 40 years now.
Right, and only there.
Submitting application to land development in Port of Spain. The clerk will just take the application and they do not give us a document stating we submit a document.
All right, and now officers are now. All right, hold on. And now officers from the EMBD are coming around targeting to take all the land.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And I showed them all the documents. They did that in 2018. A legal search. An officer was arrested, was charged.
All right, and when they say an officer, not a police officer, But an officer within
No,
the
a staff.
EMBD.
Staff. Right, you're getting there, sir. Right. Time to stop this racket, clean up this country, and allow the poor people who are squatting the opportunity to purchase these lands, sir. I saw what happened when they broke down those squatting houses in Arima.
Wow.
That is wrong. Time for the poor people to get the opportunity to pay down, you know, where they're living. And, you know, be safe. They have something, you know, to look forward to pass on to the children. So, that land that my father had occupied, he planted crops in 1985. So that, you know, it handed down to us, you know, because over the years, nothing was done with helping the squatters in this area.
No. You only have a right.
Why?
You only have a adverse possession, only have a right. And that is since 1985. That is plenty years at the end of the day. At the end of the day, that land technically is your own, right? It's not that only, and if it is, they have to move you all. They'll have to pay you all for the land. No different to the man in Diego Martin where they went and break down all the man crops on them. Where I know the land they, by Savannah Day, so much years since I lay boy. That man and that family planting that land, right? And you see the government still has to deal with them. But oh my God! So now understand how the whole land racket.
There's no document. They come with these officers, right? Who bully us.
They can't give you a document. All right, they will have to bring a legitimate document to you, from EMBD, stating that all right, EMBD is now going through something or whatever, or going and use that for the purpose of public purpose or something. The government had to come with something, but they can't just come to just want land when it have no clear plan or direction of what it is going to be, what's going to be do with the land, whether it be play park, whether it be to distribute for, because look at the marijuana thing that done there, whereby we could organize and give out 5 acres lots, you know, where people will know where to fence it or whatever and plant, and you know, have an industry where we'll send the cannabis outside there for processing and whatever, and people buy it, and you know, or we get into agricultural nation to be able to feed itself on some of those lands, give it out in acres, in 5 acres or so. Based on what somebody going to do, 10 acres and all them things, but a strict lease stating that you have to do this, do that, where's it take, and it's give somebody else the chance if the land is not being worked. But to say people just grabbing land and then doing nothing with it, just taking it for taking its sake.
That is what. That is yes. This is a concern that is plaguing this country. And I'm happy that is real land that is placed under the EMBD. I didn't know it was so much a land that was placed under the EMBD. If you continue with the state land fraud, a lot of callers going to call in because they were victim. I am a victim being targeted. 2018 and recently. Why? Money is being passed.
All right, how manage, they did not, in 2018 when they get targeted, what they do, they approach you with any letter or they just come to tell you word of mouth, they had to come off the land or something. What was the approach?
Word of mouth, sir, because they know if any document they will be, you know, yes, that will be easy for them to.
So many people that they get off. So many people that get off lands, carrying lands, they did it via word of mouth because they can't afford to give a letter.
Right. Bullying, you call that bullying. And sometimes they use their friends, colleagues who are police officers because they come with the police jacket. The police, you know, because they benefited from state land too.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
So this EMBD are real big racket.
Yes, sir, and I'm hoping that this Prime Minister look into Caroni 1975 land under this EMBD. What is the purpose of EMBD? Look at the complaint in state land in El Socorro, because they do get the complaint and they go undercover because they have relative friends working there. When they get the complaint, they hide it, sir.
Yeah, but I think it had said for itself because I think and the name of it is estate management or however it go. So
Yeah,
I think that
whatever,
was the
yeah.
purpose was for it. I didn't know the purpose
Yeah,
was
but it
for
took
it
advantage.
was for who
It took
dare.
advantage because no one look into them, so sometimes they don't report for duty because they out on the field looking for land to sell. Yeah, I tell you 60,000, 80,000,
All that
100,000. I know I'm going to buy it for 100 and something $1,000, $160,000. The lawyer bought the land
yeah, but
and developing
you don't think they're taking
right.
you don't think they're taking risk because when that time reach and they don't have a proper documentation for the land because people buying that land without documentation or is it EMBD giving them that
Now they get
documentation?
right. Yes, no documentation. That is why I'm saying that the government should allow the opportunity. The same way these people want property to, to build a home for the family. Let it be, done the legal way, so. Not allow these vultures in EMBD to gain from it.
Wow.
So this is what. Yes, I am a victim of it. I was targeted twice, and I understood what that caller was trying to say yesterday.
Oh
Yes,
boy,
so
look
I'm
people.
hoping that you continue this. If you continue this, it's going to a lot of people going to be arrested.
Wow.
And time in this country, according to what Mr. Baraport just said, time for us to start. We're seeing something. We have to speak up now. Don't be afraid.
Wow.
They're taking property from people who occupying
No, well,
and giving it
while
to
you're
their
talking,
friends.
while you're talking, I remember I always rely on my people on the chat, and my people on the chat, them telling me is the staff. Some people saying it's the staff. Some people say there's plenty
It's
land
the
grabbing.
staff.
Look, somebody tell me, well, one of the is Woodford Lunch in Shogunas, and the right in Shogunas, Woodford Lunch. Wow. So that land is controlled by EMBD? Wow.
Yes. So rather than the government, rather than these people steal the land, these staff steal the land from the government.
Look, Ann Moon Sammy, look,
government should build more schools
look, Miss Santa Cruz said
on
the
the land, use
officers
the revenue
attached to
from the
EMBD. Yeah.
So
Is the officers
nobody
attached to
should be
EMBD?
called squatters in Trinidad. Nobody should be called squatters in Trinidad. A lot of people in my village here never purchased their land. It's still under Caroni. Are they squatters? They have big houses, small houses. It passed on to their families. Time for the government to create, some avenue where we don't have squatting in Trinidad. We don't want to be called squatters. It is not nice. We don't get things like if we want to borrow loans, and other things that could help us fix our home. As soon as we try to fix, somebody will call the estate police and they will come and say, you break down, you cannot build. Why? Other people could build right in front of your eyes, and because you want to renovate your home, construct, a little room.
Yeah, what somebody say, somebody say, Andy, give up now. That is out of your league. So like this thing is a real big money thing, boy. It's real land, boy. Oh God.
So follow the money where it goes. It's staff, it's pocket money. Right? Time for it to stop. Land management in Port of Spain, they have the complaints. Time for they to stand up to. They are afraid. Why?
Wow. All right, let me open the Lennox Smith.
So thank you.
I want to
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, you see, we look at other areas in Trinidad, but you see, one of the problems affecting us right now, and as the ministers and them on the ground, they will hear from the people what is happening. Sometimes the people are afraid to speak up, but I am not, because I was targeted.
Right, and all I can do, as some people advising on the chat, Andy, all you can do is let the authorities take over. All right, people saying this is bigger than me. This is a serious thing. Oh, okay, wait, hold on, let me see. Lennox Smith. Oh boy. Well, he ain't ready yet. All right,
I'm here, but
all right,
I'm
listen.
processing.
All right. You here, well, I know learning that a lot of on the same, that is the same avenue that Cummins use or take to, whereby the EMBD, which is controlling Carney lands, officers and workers of that company are selling Carney lands. And this use police to go bully people off who have been in adverse possession of Carney lands for all kind of 30, 40 years. But they're not giving them any letter. Because in giving letter, it will be paper trail. But they're using smart tactics, for who don't know, in order to get people off a prime land that they have been in possession of over the years, in order to give it to big boys or sell it to big boys. Because some of those lands, them lands could be road front, water passing, lights passing, main road.
Right. Very good, sir. You know it. Yeah, you got in there. Yes. Yeah.
What's your take? Lennox Smith, what's your take on that whole situation?
Yeah, well, that is a real, that's
Or
a reality.
what we can do? We have anything there, or what she is left to do? Does it have any way? Because she had said she had been going various places to complain and all those various things. What is left for her to do? What is left for the books there?
I wasn't privy to the entire conversation, but clearly adverse possession is one of the avenues that legally she can pursue. Of course, we also have the situation where that too is a chance. Well, yeah, that too is a chance where, of course, you deal with the Commissioner of State Lands Department located in El Socorro, and you make your formal application for the land. There is another mechanism that is open to the individual who believe that the land is theirs because of the length of time. Well, as you know, 16 years in private circumstance, I believe a little more, 18 years, I believe, in the case of public lands. So you have a legal court option, and you also have, of course, the Commissioner of State Lands.
Right, but what she is saying is they tried to run her in 2018, but they can't get through because of whatever. Well, she's strong, she stand up. She know that what was going on is because you see she well informed, she knows what's going on. So they can't get at her, right? So she's not worried about her. She know on a normal note, she, all right, that land is them own. And they try a second time, but that land is them own. But her concerns is that the new government need to put a stop to it because it's a legend that the Commission of State Lands and officers of EMBD are working hand in hand and selling.
Yeah, in collusion.
Yeah. So
yes, that is a reality and a tremendous possibility. Unfortunately, people are using their offices, of course, to try to gain personal wealth, and that should be stamped out, and the government should be very keen to know that that is in fact so, and then take the appropriate steps in order to generate the remedies that are required. But again, it's the same institutions you have to go to, the Commissioner of State Lands, and of course that of the courts where, of course, adverse possession taking place. In fact, I was reading a case just before, and see how things happen
look, somebody say,
in this world.
Look, somebody say, Andy, that was the last administration, so nobody was not taking her on. But this time, it's different, particularly relating to land possessions. She should get some help now. Well, under the new government, under the former government, nobody was taking it on.
I'm optimistic. I want to concur with that caller's suggestion. Yeah, but it doesn't take away the fact that you have these corrupt activities taking place.
Wow. All right, ma'am. Well, so what is left for her? Just to do what she do here, which is just complain to us? And then what?
I suppose
we follow up?
doing that.
Huh?
She's doing that for the purposes of making certain that the heirs of the authorities, the authorities, pay attention.
Somebody says, since the days of Dr. Eric Williams, the PNM minister stealing lands, O'Halloran have hundreds of acres of lands in Palaseco. And private in Togo.
Are you surprised? Because the recent iteration of that kind of behavior by in office is Dr. Rowley's good friends and as he said, former business colleague. I'm talking about the owners in Tobago. You have been mentioning, of course, from time to time, as to the amount of land that was given to them, and even when they were caught doing things illegally on lands like quarrying, within weeks they got, of course, a provisional license to do the same thing that they were caught by the authorities illegally doing. So again, the whole question of corruption, nepotism, cronyism is at the center of this matter, and has fomented the proliferation of this kind of conduct to the disadvantage of so many others who would not be able to get such a cushy opportunity to, of course, advance themselves and generate wealth in the process.
Yeah, but look, somebody say
the entire thing has to be squashed. And therefore the authorities have to take very, very, very.
So would the authorities be able to take back the lands that was awarded, or were people running under the 10 years of the PNM and just land grab through EMBD state land? But look, somebody also say in one of the Honorable Prime Minister's meetings, she said she will look into county lands because there is the issue. So it looks like they have an idea of what's going on.
Yeah. And I think Cummins would have been the one that might have triggered that concern, because, of course, as you know, I have been working on at least 2 instances where he has, of course, whether directly or indirectly, grabbed a piece of land. And in fact, I think you'll be hearing about it in the not too distant future, where, of course,
but the lands we grab is what, county lands too?
Yes, county lands. But here what is unfortunate in the case that I am working on is that parcel of land was given by Caroni to a particular farmer, a very humble person. I don't think his schooling, his academic qualifications is much. And I think that was taken advantage of. And what happened is that the situation is that Cummins, whether directly or indirectly, caused, of course, the man's land to be entered upon. 1, 2, destroyed all of his crops without compensation, and then made a bogus claim that it was the activities of the HDC on lands that the man had for years, authorized by Caroni. And the situation is the same up to today. But there's nothing growing on it. The land is there. And because of the high, should I say, publicity that attracted, but in addition to that, it was fenced, or it is fenced as well. And so, of course,
but what's where that land is? That's going into Kufa. That's going into Kufa on the left hand side. That have a piece of land fence.
All right. But not that one. There's a next piece.
Well, because I see that cut fence and that is before the lights. They have a piece of big piece of land.
Yeah.
Right before the traffic light. Right. On the left hand side, going in from the highway.
Yeah, if you're going in from the highway, yes.
It's on the left hand side. Right. Well, friends, but I see it cut in. So they said that the man, because of the high publicity of it, get back control of the land, or is it that it is still in the possession of the alleged Cummins?
I spoke to him very recently. I don't want to, of course, let out or unveil the strategy, but the intention is that because but there are certain action that will accompany that in order to make sure that he gets back.
But that prime land, that is in the beginning to go into the Tonga Kuva.
That's right.
And elephants are by the traffic light. That prime and prime.
As close to Point Lisas. In fact, adjacent to Point Lisas, just a river blocking, separating them. And there it is, of course, that kind of land grabbing because you have a position in government. This is not a case like EMBD, you know, it's a clear case of somebody who would have used his government position to take people's land, claiming that the land is for a purpose within the government structure, in this case HGC, and then dispossess the person of their land, even though they have a signed seal document indicating that the land was given to them by Caroni for the purposes of agriculture and other use.
And so, but so he have his documents and he's not in possession of his land right now.
That's right. That's right. A major portion. They left him with a small piece, let's say on the western side. That piece you'll be seeing it will be more easterly. Yeah.
All right, so that piece where they left him with is the piece where we'll call, instead of passing on the Balmain Road, instead of passing on the Balmain Road, because the Balmain main road is where you go see the one on the left hand side with before the traffic light. So he's the piece cross the traffic light, cross the river, not across the traffic light, because that line I think is about a river passing through. And then where it's called that road, boy, where they go to the Point Lisas Industrial Estate, boy. Oh.
Yeah, well, I think they call it Point. They give it some name of that nature. But
the Rivulet Road.
I think you are in the button with respect to the
Rivulet Road.
To the location.
That is the Rivulet Road. The Rivulet Road. Because the Rivulet Road, there's two entrances to go on that side, from the Rivulet Road and from Balmain Main Road.
Are you talking about the roundabout? Yeah? Is there a roundabout? Because I want to make sure that we are on the same page. Is there a roundabout? What are you talking about? The Point Lisas roundabout I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's about roundabout down there with have a KFC and thing.
Right. Okay, yes. We're talking about the same place then. Yeah. Well, behind the KFC, there is a river, and then the land, of course, is on the other side or the northern side of the river bank. Yeah, moving forward.
All right. Yeah. Well, people, hold on. People, all your front burners, you all could come with your old front burners too. Morning, and I want to interview a father that lost his daughter. Wow. During the COVID, and watch his daughter bleed away, and it's coming to the end time. Because you know, Lennox Smith, after 4 years, you can't carry matter to court. You can't do nothing.
Yes, statute of limitations. It is called in technical terms.
And he's coming very close.
But let me say immediately, because of the way that you brought me into the conversation, President, good morning to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are, streaming at the World Wide Web, a pleasant good day to you. Yes, this is, of course, the Wednesday edition of the Ground Report.
Somebody say maybe Foster is the mayor of Caroni Lands. Oh my God. Morning, caller.
Morning to everyone. Let me say something to the waterman, the former Wassa minister. Hear what? Only talking about Padarat all the time. Only was there 9 to 10 years, right? What Padarat is doing now, he never did before. You understand? We are in now, only are out. We have what to do with it. We have a UWI campus in Gerde Pinal, which built under the UNC. None of all the former Prime Minister, the former government, never put a hand and finish it out. They only want to come now as the extreme, the waterman of water. They want to come now and run on them out. the government now is doing a good job, and they're doing everything in their power for the citizens of this country. No one can run them down because they are in now, and we will stand up firm. So don't run your mouth on Padarat. He ain't doing nothing, he's doing what is right. And we have a competent government that's making sure everybody is on the right track. You understand? So when only want to talk, don't talk only what they're 10 years. And only they will do what all they have to do with all the pipelines or whatever. Don't come and say he ain't doing nothing. He's doing his damnedest and he's doing something good. This government is a working government. Not like the extreme, which lies to us. So much as death, 5,000 and more deaths in the COVID thing. Or you should be charged for that. Or you give people the vaccine that or you're not supposed to do. I said a wickedness went on there, right? Or you tell all the employer to give the employees the vaccine. If they don't take it, they will have to go home. Plenty of them suffering now. You understand? Some of them can even have a child right now. Because of what? Because of the damn PNM, the incompetent government we have. But
thank you, Ms. Laoketa. Oh boy, next caller, pleasant good morning to you. Where are you calling from and what's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
Morning, I'm calling from St. Joseph.
All right, St. Joseph, what's your contribution this morning? Hey, let me say a pleasant good morning to those of you that look on to us and Guile, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Caribbean, our Caribbean brothers and sisters. Our pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. And thanks so much again for choosing to lock on to Guile, which means you lock on to the ground report program. Go ahead, St. Joseph.
Right. I just want to say that the last wicked bit of administration, I had to say bit of administration because it was a pseudo administration, not a real administration, because they didn't care about the blasted people. Right in Maracas here, right? They had a pothole that wasn't left for about 9 months, so that the 2-lane road was literally a one lane because everybody dodging the pothole. You know, they take about a year and a half to fix the damn thing. When they fix it now, people were so entrenched in their mind that they have a pothole there that they keep swinging out from where the hole was for months until they realize, oh God, you know, they fixed the hole. Well, for your information, it opened back, because they did such a shoddy job like everything else. That last administration of tax collectors, that is what they were, you know. We didn't have a government, you know. Because when you have a government, you have a reduction in crime, you have proper road, you have infrastructure, you have bridges, you have water, you have lights, you have proper schools. But we never had that. We had a set of damn tax collectors. And what I would like the new administration to do, appoint a commission of inquiry and call every one of them to order. And don't do like in the days of the coup, when Abu Bakr had said, you're coming to no damn commission of inquiry. Man, drag them out in their jockey shorts if necessary and bring them to answer the question. And every time they can't answer a question, bust their face, every one of them. They know damn good. And the present administration should withhold all the increase and gratuity and increased pension until they account for every last cent that they tote away like bacha to foreign accounts. Take what I'm telling you. The family right now is owed money for land acquisition in Monday's it's about since 2015, and all the individuals are in this.
You're kind of breaking up there. You said something about Mondesi and something about land and Mondesi. What did you say about land and Mondesi? Oh boy.
If he has gone silent, of course, you might have observed that I was on the phone. Well, a senior citizen called and asked me to, of course, convey to you to play, of course, that clip where Rowley was going to the Oval because she felt that that is what the administration was afraid of and continues to be afraid of, and that is, of course, the raw, unadulterated truth that we bring, and of course with simultaneous proof. Yeah, so that's one, and that she also suggested that when Eric Williams talked about free education, it is not really free, and I agree with her because of course it is taxpayers' money, not his, not the party. They could never get that, except of course when they claim, like in the case of the Balize House, that they would of course taken taxpayers' money directly or indirectly in order, of course, to build that blood money monstrosity. So I think we probably could do her a favor as a senior citizen, and of course these days I find a lot of senior citizens are tuning in and are taking note and are becoming, of course, much more conscious as to their role and responsibility to at least to the present and future generations, because they may be on their way out, but certainly future generations have to live here, and they have recognized that the PNM is simply bad news for Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, so senior citizen, this is what you wanted to hear. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I was going to the Oval one evening, and I stopped as it was drizzling, and a radio station was on. And on that radio station, which was my favorite station, but it was on in the vehicle I was in, a most vulgar and outrageous radio program was on the airwaves, called the Ground Report. You all remember that? In that report, it was the nastiest, dirty. As a matter of fact, what caught my attention was how filthy the program was on our airwaves. And I was asking myself, how could this be permitted on the airwaves of Trinidad and Tobago, election or no election? And it was all about me and my father and my mother and this, and I had raped this, and I had done that, and the Ground Report. They want to know what the plan is? The plan is to put an end to this.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
I'm sure that she would be very elated at this point in time, and I'm sure that she would be asking her peers in that category, whatever category she's, whether she's an octogenarian, a septuagenarian, or in the 60s or 50s, of course, to share and to, of course, consider the fact that there are future generations that have to, of course, occupy the space that we now occupy as citizens, as human beings, and therefore, of course, positively impact and to advance Trinidad and Tobago. Suppose that in context with
you know what laughing? We are reporter on.
Of that, yeah.
We are reporter on. You know what laughing? As we play that, man, people not too happy about that. It's like when they see he.
Well,
people like they want to cuss. It's like they want to.
Man, the most hated man in the country, and the most hated prime minister. I mean, the anathema to him, the hatred for him by the population. I mean, knows no boundary. I mean, it is unlimited.
And Sandy Jones say, Sandy Jones say, well, he's saying, well, he didn't get enough. Because remember, he say the Ground Report is the worst program, disgraceful program. It's all about me, my mother, my father. I raped this. We go deal with this program. She say, you didn't get enough at the Ground Report. He didn't get, he gave it in detail. But he write for the right thing. Anyhow, call a reporter. Go ahead.
And we never spoke about his father and his mother. That was his construct. We spoke about him. And his license just passed. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, researcher.
Good morning.
You're a reporter.
Reporter. Yeah, good morning, my brothers. Now, I just called this morning to thank international, when I say international, a born Trini who doing business abroad. I want to thank him for giving back to his country, and he's giving back through the UNC and Trinidad and Tobago concerning these laptops for the children. And I want to thank you, sir. And if you didn't see it as yet, I could send the video for you so you could see it and share it and make sure, because everything was shown to the world that Trinidad and Tobago children will be going out next term with their laptop. That is secured. Thank you, my business brethren, because I don't know brethren really, but he's born in San Fernando. And that brother do business abroad, and he's giving back to Trinidad and Tobago, and I thank him, and I love how he choose to do it through the government. So each and every creed of children in this place, every race is going to get one of these laptops. Thank you, my brother. And they're going to send the video for you right after I done talk to you.
All right.
Yeah, I saw it. Andy is a businessman. Yes, the reporter is correct. And he has some refurbished, of course, computers, thousands of them. And he's prepared, of course, to donate these devices to, of course, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and therefore to support the initiative of providing every child in the secondary and I assume primary system with, of course, a laptop.
Go ahead, Cole. Morning.
Yeah, morning. Andy.
Yeah.
Morning.
Go ahead, Felix. Morning. What's your contribution this morning?
My contribution, I'll tell it to Lennox my message yesterday, but I'll call him after. Yeah, listen, I want one or two recommendations for the deportees and them. I like them to house them by Inez Gate, Hines, Young, Imsworth, and the Alsling. Them could take in some of those deportees. And then again, you all are so right. Lennox, you want me to mention what I wanted to talk to you about?
Well, if it is, if you believe that it will be appropriate, go ahead.
Yeah, I watching the news outside and I see where the minister getting some rice to give farmers to plant in Trinidad here.
Oh, yes,
One of the greatest ideas that Rowley and the PNM and Manning and them did the nation is, especially on food thing, is when the now government launched the rehabilitation of abandoned estate and thing. That was a rare, also we would be reaping the benefit from that. Yeah, today I think it's 45 years or so that this thing would benefit Trinidad and Tobago. So could you liaise with the Minister of Agriculture and put that idea back as a venture towards our food import bill?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we should.
All right,
revisit
Colin,
that.
thanks.
There are a lot of abandoned estates. We see that many of them would have been handed to, of course, friends of Rowley and Day, but of course for the purposes of getting rich by, of course, taking out the minerals, whereas planting of food seem to have no real major, what I consider the economic.
We are going to check into that lands where they give out up there in Arima, the Aripol land.
Yeah, I think
that was so much acres. That was
it's arable land.
Yeah,
it's arable land. It's land that you could plant and you could, of course, engage in animal husbandry. I think at one time, I think a lot of cattle and so on was being reared up there. That would, of course, augmented our milk supply because that is a major.
But I don't think they're doing anything of any big magnitude when it's coming to impacting the GDP on food security. I don't think whether it be livestock or the average plants. I don't think somebody say here. I was going through the rain to go and use the latrine, and all of a sudden hearing this caca talking. So somebody was going through the rain to go use the latrine, and when they hear Rowley, they hearing Rowley the caca talking, they say like the tutu themselves. Yeah, they said they just don't hear it.
I mean, in government, these people were a pile of jokers. I mean, they provided, of course, what I consider to be comic relief on a daily basis. In their absence now, they are also provided because, I mean, people are just reminiscent as to what to say about them because it was really ridiculous. And they know it too, but they will continue, of course, to project that, what I consider to be clownish behavior to the laughter of the population.
All right,
But,
so let me just, as we play that, let me just give you an idea how people was thinking. Somebody say, ex-prime minister, it is true. What do I say? Somebody said, that is the most sickening man I have ever seen. Oh boy, you lie, Rowley. You want to stop the ground report. Never, Rowley. Oh boy. Well, this one is, I was going through the rain to go to the latrine and this caca. Right. Anytime we see him, we get frightened. He's still PM. He send over Bones laugh out loud. All right. Also, Andy, we could afford to laugh now. All right. Oh boy. Yes, he got we off 104.7, but never stop us. We will find any platform to inform the citizens. Ground report for life. Oh boy. It's the same thing they were doing to TC and Heavy. That is the next thing there. I just could not listen. I turn off my volume. All right. Oh boy, this man's voice is not like to hear. That man's voice is not I like to hear. All right. We only make real people hate him. Well, I wouldn't think all. That man's voice is very annoying. Oh boy. That man and the PNM was a big blight to Trinidad and Tobago. Right, I don't want to hear anything. Anyhow, let's get on to business. Oh boy, let's get on to business. We know how Dr. Rowley, the former Prime Minister and the PNM, made you all feel. You all know we must never have mercy for the PNM and Dr. Rowley them. They must never see the power of the corrupt power in Trinidad and Tobago for a while. They will remain in opposition. Their seats will go from 13 to 9, from 9 to 5, then from 5 to 1. Then there will be nothing, no more. PNM gone, like the NAR. We have to make sure we designate them as the NAR. And that is possible. It is. So come on, morning caller.
Good morning, Andy. All roads lead to Parliament Friday, 12 noon. So good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, Uncle Lennox, Mickie, Gael, the channel, and all the listeners. So Uncle Lennox, is the Arepa farm was a Ministry of Agriculture, a subsidiary of the Sugar Feed Center, where they used to have the dairy section, and farmers could go and get a breed. That they have a mother cow, they could go and get a good breed to make more baby cow, to get more baby milk, right? And more milk for people to drink and to sell nestles. But you see, the goat association fella bring goat for Tobago and sheep, and that's how we get the lease. But one in our program, I say, he expanded the pasture by digging down the mountain to make more grazing tests. But the stone, we don't know where he thrown it when he dig it out. And the next thing I know too, with all the land acquisition, don't forget a sweet potato farmer in Central, who is serving the cabinet at Kate Rowley. We have to investigate he and all too to see how much acreage of land he and the family get to plant sweet potato. Don't forget that one, right? So, what I would like my friend Bernard this morning is Faris Arawi. You talking about grooming and coaching, instruction to the public servants, right? But you have a leader who groom and coach an underage child and gets you pregnant. But I want to ask you, Faris Arawi, on a serious note, as a concerned citizen, when the NGC board would conduct any land them, who groomed them, that board, to invest $225 million in Atlantic LNG train woman. Who groomed them? Who gave them the instruction? Who tell them what to do? Eh? And I want to ask you, who groomed you to tell, right, the lawyer from England to come against Randin and Ram Logan? Who groomed you to bring false case against them and evidence? You remember who the seal envelope with nothing, and they must present the evidence in a seal? Eh? So we want to ask who groomed you on that, and who groomed, right, the acquisition and the port authority workers, who groomed the court to give an injunction to go back to work. It's talking about grooming. So let me understand that, right? And what is all the divestment plan to Wassa? All the singing for the supper, and look at it. Karma is a nice thing. Just as Rambali and Anita Hayes and Rai Ragdale and Pare and Roddy Charles, they was fighting for the leadership. They come in the PNM. You see, they come over by order, and the same nasty thing going on. And all the gang get a leader for the party and one leader and an opposition leader. But you see, all of singing for the supper to hold on to the executive. Because anytime they move away from the executive at the PNM, always nothing. And I want the membership at the PNM, the grassroots people, to reject all this so. Because you know why? When all was in power, all they never see about the grassroots people and take care and give them even attend to the needs. Much less what they want. But all they come in now, one man, one vote. And all they, I would like to see the democracy in all the party and all they really go to the voters and them and the membership to elect that later. But then again, you see, we government come in power and the same no resources when India was grooming the councils and them and not tell them where to spend the money and how to spend the money. Now we see a government come in place and we getting things done because we had the resources. So Andy and Lennox, we as citizens, we have remember our political leader. We will do the Singapore model and start to implement certain things at the Singapore model to start getting this country working. Have a nice day, Andy, and thanks for taking my call.
All right, thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, all of the lines are open, the lines are open. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Caller, good morning.
Good morning again, Andy. Andy, I just want to mention something about the laptop thing where the gentleman talked about earlier. First to begin, people have to understand that what the man doing is refurbish laptops. He volunteered and he ain't giving it free. The government had to pay for it. So, you know, everybody now want to jump on the bandwagon.
Wait. Well, my take on when they talk earlier is that this Trinidadian businessman is working in congratulation with the government and donating refurbished laptops. That's how I take. I know that because look, you are bringing an next twist that the government had to pay for it. You saying the government had to pay for it?
Yes, when you listen to the whole the whole discussion about this man have X amount of laptops that he going to give to the government and thing. What happened when the government purchased the laptops from the gentleman, he donated £1 of the money, £1 English pound for every laptop they buy to an eco-friendly project in Trinidad. So the government paying him for the laptops. I don't know what price or whatever he will be calling for refurbished laptops. And then he now giving £1 to some eco-friendly project in the country. So he did not nobody get no laptop free. And just was making the advertisement about the laptops.
Yeah, but one pong is $10.
Yeah,
about $10, $8 TT or so.
Yeah,
So,
but
so
I mean that all,
on every laptop he giving back a pong, $1 pong.
Yeah, £1 for each laptop that the government purchased. If they purchase from him, he donating that to some eco-friendly project in Trinidad.
But that making no sense.
Exactly. So we have to be careful with everybody who jumping out all in a sudden now to play they want to do something for the country. You understand? You don't get nothing for free in this country. Always remember that. In the world. And like I say, free thing not good and no good thing ain't free. So, but we have a prime minister, she ain't free. And she intelligent and trust me, she could do the best for the country. And the little white boy that was coordinating this transaction, he need to get a little diplomacy. He ain't cooking no duck or breadfruit roasting in a fireside outside. By only calling the Honorable Prime Minister, Kamla, we are laptop, Kamla, we are this. You know, it sounds like he's selling something in a market. And that is the Honorable Prime Minister, Mrs. Kamala Prasanth-Disasa. So they get his diplomacy proper if you want to come across and try to have any discussion in this country, because we are moving like Rowie and them again.
No, but what I watch about boy again. So let me say the refurbished laptop, the government paying for it in pound or in US. So let me say they pay. Let me say we buying one for approximately 1,000 TT. Because I will refurbish and we buying in that amount. I will expect that it's nothing more than 1,000 TT, because we can get refurbished laptops right in Trinidad normal. Because look, we own MacBook, and then one of we very own a businessman who given $1,000 to MacBook and $1,500 for MacBook had the sale, and look at you again that for MacBook and all them things. So
let me tell you something.
How much we paying for those laptop if that time reach, and to get back $1 pound on every laptop?
I would not make that deal at all. First to begin, we know that every single thing you do right now, where this government is concerned, them idiots, them where was in government, go find some excuse or some reason to some corruption, or there is some actually partner, or there is some kind of dotishness with that. Secondly now, once you've given out something through the government, and you send it to the population, like the children, you have to have some sort of guarantee on it. Warranty and guarantee and thing that, let me say, something happened with the laptop. Let me say in 2 months, you hear the laptops are smoke, they're malfunctioning, they're booting up good and all kind of thing. And now you say, okay, it come like a used car you buy. You have no guarantee. You buy where you get. You pay for where you get. You understand? But if it's now come through some reputable, reliable company that says, hey, here what?
We have a guarantee. Because we buying in a big way.
Exactly. So let me say something happened to one of the laptops. You could send back all and say, I want new one for all. You understand? So moving forward, we have to move with intelligence.
We have to spend me money to make sure it's with good deals. Good deals. And long guarantees.
I must confess that I didn't hear the entire ad, because it appears that from what I'm hearing now is an advertisement. Of course,
watching the face, Lennox.
In the attention of the government, they knowing that they will be, of course, providing laptops to all the school children, 14,000, maybe twice for primary and secondary schools.
Yeah.
So what they have done, of course, is capitalize on that. Well, if that is the case, if I'm the government, I would not pursue that.
Exactly.
I thought it was a contribution from expatriate who, of course, love his country and wanted, of course, to donate because he has some of that available to him. But if it's in those conditions,
we gotta pay for it, and then
I would beg to, of course, refuse.
Yeah, and not only that, it's refurbished laptops, 1. 2, all you getting me back, so you calling your price, and all you getting me back is $1 pound on everyone. So let me say it's 40,000 laptops because it's children everything day at $1 pound. How much money we get back? That ain't making sense. We have to go as Barpo say, if we buying laptops, we have to go to reputable companies.
When we first had the first community-based computer literacy program in Trinidad, yes, it was done right in Mova in Laverton. I want to boast about that, right in Coconut Drive. That would have been around 1989. No, not 89, about 99. When, of course, I was invited to lecture at Washington University, and Professor Bennett, who was in charge of the faculty that I had the opportunity to lecture at, that university, the American University in Washington, was doing away with their computers, and they donated it to our program, the MLIO program. And what we had to do is to, of course, collect it and make certain that it reaches Trinidad. That was the cost to us. But the laptops, but the computers themselves would have been, of course, donated free of charge. And what I did, I got, of course, a Trinidad-based organization in New York to collect the laptops, the computers, sorry, pay for the freight, and got it here, of course. By that time, and it still is the case, we got, of course, exemption from the Ministry of Finance, so we didn't have to pay any tax for it coming into the country, and that is how we were able to do it. So in that situation, you could see, if you ask the government to pay the freight, I could understand that. Once, of course, it doesn't exceed what you are donating considerably. And indeed, that is a more NGO type arrangement. You don't make those kinds of arrangements with the government, even though it is possible, because I know that, for example, the Ghanaian government did donate some yam to Trinidad. And then, of course, I know, I don't know if it is purchased, but I know that recently I saw it where the current Minister of Agriculture got quite a large amount of rice to be distributed to rice farmers. I don't know if it was donated to the government or otherwise, but these kinds of things happen. But what I know is that some element of the cost you'll have to fit as a recipient, as a beneficiary of the contribution that would have been made. And I just given you my own experience and a microcosm of what could happen in this case. But to purchase the computers, that means there's a businessman, and I don't think the government will settle for.
No, we have to go to a reputable company.
Computers to give to our children. No.
No, we have to go just in case we could get them exchange. Just in case anything go on, we can get them exchange. We have a year warranty on every laptop and them kind of thing. Go ahead, call morning.
Yeah. That is not a good deal.
Go ahead, reporter, morning. Oh, reporter like you're going, boy. You have to hold on the phone, man. Morning. Next caller. Wait. Morning. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Morning, Andy, and morning to Lennox again and Barack. Morning. Well, I realize you all did an autopsy on the ad that the brother said, but you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you. We are hearing you loud and clear, reporter.
Okay, all right. Now, what I didn't hear in the whole criticizing of the whole incident with the brother trying to make the ad to get the business done with Trinidad and Tobago. Now, he also letting us know he's not no. I hear one of them spoke about the white boy supposed to have some more way to deal with business, whatever the case may be. But the main man of the thing, born in Trinidad and Tobago, and they didn't tell us that the man was given back. Although they talk about the $1 pound, whatever the case may be, the government is not a foolish group of people that go into no deal around this time, but every deal worth looking at, because you don't know the guarantee of these things, because remember you are saying refurnish, and if you say refurnish and you want to go to such as a government with that kind of business, you have to have some kind of backup plan to make sure the life of these things will last for a period of time. The government not foolish. The government have to look for where they're getting it. So these people put themselves on the plate one time, and it is unfair to them as a Trinidadian who is responsible for it that we try to burn it down and criticize it before it even reach proper. Because remember, in the same ad, the Telele Senate to Ms. Kamala Prasad too, it's not nothing the government put out there for, is somebody trying to get themselves involved, and that person who born and grow here. So this is why I come and compliment the person for even thinking about Trinidad and Tobago after we had a country with a Ministry of Finance was hemorrhaging for 9 years, almost 10 years, hemorrhaging heavily. Now remember, the government had to look to cut costs and get things a little easier because promises were made on the platform that PNM was asking where they will get the money from. The government have to prove to them that the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago will be comfortable with whatever they promised us, get it working, and if have to look in any direction, you look in all direction and what's better for the people, you work with it. I just throw it out for the people just so I ain't really decide to make that a priority to say that the government have to do that. That is something the man put out there for the government to look into to make the first start. Remember, the woman ain't called no budget yet. This country is so crazy right now that people start to talk about back pay and the government ain't even read the first budget in the tenure in office yet. Nothing can happen to this country heavily until after September when the budget call. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Love in the house.
Thank you very much. Next caller. Morning, next caller. Oh, boy. At the end of the day, it just come across to me that it's because the person that Trinidad land businessman. And but it's going free. They gotta pay for it. I don't care if you're from Trinidad, if you're from wherever and wherever. Something is not a good deal, nothing. If I run my own business, I looking for good deal.
I will want to commend reporters' patriotism for bringing it to the attention. Even though, of course, he may have not been fully accurate with all of the nitty-gritty, because clearly there would have been, of course, a sting in the tail, and the proof of the pudding clearly would have been in the total disclosure. Yeah, but clearly, like me, I was of the view, like, of course, reporter, that it was a Trinbagonian who, of course,
who going to donate and all kind of thing.
Would donate to the government refurbished computers without cost to the taxpayers. But it turns out to be something different.
Exactly. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Good morning, Andy, Lennox, Mikey, and everybody out here. A rainy Wednesday morning. But I like the rain. Yes, excuse me. Yes, it's cool. But I also like, Andy, we have water. Andy, we have water. Since Sunday, we have water. I mean, if it slow down a little bit in the evening, that's okay. I get to wash something and I don't have a piece of dirty clothes. I cannot believe this thing.
Because I'm getting the same optimism, the same elation in Port of Spain. Somebody came to me and said that, you have 1, 2, 3, 3 floors, and they say for the first time they're getting consistent water on the 3rd floor. Above, in these high-rise apartments in and around this Port of Spain. So why that couldn't happen before?
Why? Because Marvin said that they didn't want to turn on the pressure because it would bust the pipe. And when they come back in office, because of this government, they will have to repair all the pipe. I don't know why they don't put a pipe in Marvin's mouth and Hashem. Because the amount of nonsense he talking, it could push the water out. Lennox and Andy here now. We have a schedule Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Although we are on a schedule, we don't get water. All you hear me talking about, we getting spaghetti water. And Andy, we have to work. We couldn't wash and all this kind of thing. I have to wash, we have to turn on our water tanks, right? To wash clothes, because you can't wash with that. It ain't coming in the machine. And I tell you, since Saturday it was there nice, heavy, but it went in the evening. I don't mind, I get to cook and everything. Sunday it was there. Look at this Wednesday, look, it's still heavy in the pipe, Andy. I am shocked. It just goes to show you, Andy, it could have been done. We did not have to suffer like that for water in this country. It was totally ridiculous, Andy. You hear? But Andy, yeah, on
Look somebody,
another,
look
we
somebody in
see
the
the
chat.
improvement.
Look somebody in the chat saying Bashk saying since the 29th, he and all getting water and it ain't gone yet.
I find it strange,
imagine Andy any night
and
because
I saw an article this morning where they were saying that why Gonzalez was telling us that we had 60% 24/7 water. The reality is a more recent WASA report, very recent one, that said it was only 27%.
you see they were lying to the people, right? Yeah. I mean, and after last night, my son tell me, say, Mom, somebody go get cussing. I say, for what? He said, look how heavy the water is in the pipeline. They forget to turn it off because we don't have water here from 2 o'clock. From 2 o'clock in the evening, we have no water. You understand? And water. All night we had water.
Unless the turn cock man and
but I'm glad fate,
can't come out to turn it off because the rain, the weather. Remember the weather? And while they flooding, so them turn cock man and them will be get to go and turn back off for what?
And it didn't lock off since Sunday. It went down low, but it was still on the line.
And
it was really, really heavy. Look up the...
There are no turn cocks as such. But to me, I am laboring under the idea that it was simply punitive, consistent, of course, with the draconian and evil disposition of the man called Rowley, who had accumulated in the highest office in this country as part of his cabinet. Similarly, evil people who take delight in punishing the people. That's all I can say.
Punishing the people, Lennox. That's exactly it, right? Because we must remember that this man said that he didn't know that leaks stop the water from flowing up. Right? He didn't know that. Anyway, Andy, you all were talking about land grabbing this morning, right? No, I am not saying this person land grab because it have a certain individuals that's gone twist what I say on in other places. Like how they say I say Inshad, it's good for Inshad. And I never said that. All you know that. I never said it. I said that I have no sympathy, right? And I will leave it there, right? Andy, this person, okay, we know Rahel, who was the Minister of Agriculture under the PNM, bought that land in Greenville and then sell it back to the government. That is public knowledge. We know.
We have information on that as well, yeah.
Right, Lennox, you see, Lennox, he also bought a piece of land, gave us a piece of land next to the San Fernando Technical Institute in San Fernando there, agricultural land. You see how they were getting their land, Andy? You see how we have to say, now it is land grabbing, right? And you see, for 10 years...
Yeah, because that mall in San Fernando there, what Rahal have, that carrying land?
Right, and if I'm not mistaken, that is a stone. That's it's a stone as well. Anyway, that we could always check that.
Yeah.
Right, Andy, was Clarence Rambarat involved in anything? I'm asking a question. I'm not accusing anybody. Right, as Minister of Agriculture, did he see something was going on and he never said a word? And that is why. He resigned from the post or whatever. I don't know, I'm asking. Right? Because something is not right. And for 10 years, Rowley didn't know about land grabbing. Rowley didn't know about who was land grabbing with EMBD, but he was only I don't want to say the word, peeping. I'll say peeping. Only peeping at Munilal and EMBD. Right? And I want to bring Munilal to court and all kind of things. That's why all the cases have to be thrown out, right? There was only people at the man, but they couldn't people see who was land grabbing for land, all the county lands and everything. Look at what we are hearing now this morning from this lady, right? And we have been hearing that for a long time, But I can tell you something, lady. We will get to the bottom of this. We will get to find out what it is really going on. And when I say we, not me myself per se, but we, the citizens, will get to find out. And the government will get to find out what it is going on in this country with that land. Right? Because it is very unfair, especially when she made reference to how they break down the people place. Oh gosh, give the people the land now. Give it to them now. Now, if you all are going to use the lands to build houses or whatever, give the people the option to buy the land or something. Make some kind of arrangement. But we are hearing people inside of EMBD. What's that?
Yeah, we are hearing people inside of EMBD.
Yeah, we are hearing people inside of EMBD selling the land and pocketing the money. How Rowley didn't know about that? And Rowley lied to the people of this country when he said that under Munilal and Jolene John, they overpaid for that land in Rostonian, right? And that land here, based on Rowley and maths, because you know we know PNM don't know nothing about maths, right? Based on Rowley maths, that land in Couva there should have been sold for $2.97 per square foot. And wherever you hear land is being sold for $2.97 per square foot. But you see, they feel they're smart. They feel they're smart. And that is why he had Jolene John and them in court. That land could never be valued at that. Never. So I don't know what it is he's talking about. And the next set of land all you're going to hear about, and we have been hearing about it for the longest while, especially with the Millshift project and Rowley and all them, is that Adelphi land. Because Adelphi sold the land at $13 a square foot to the THA and sold Rowley and them the same set of land for $5 a square foot. You see? You see, Andy, where the corruption was going on, where the corruption started. And Snakemouth and Snaketown, over London couldn't say a word. Why did over London buy that land from Adelphi when it was under the THA at 13 something a square foot? But you see, Andy, some people, they don't find out what's going on. They just want to run them out. You understand? I think that people are going to believe what it is they say. And you see, PNMites, I want to warn them. People didn't want Oli again, and this goes for Faris too. People didn't want Oli again. They were fed up of all your corruption and all your lies. So don't try now to come, right, to twist the story, because we know the story. We heard the narrative. Because now you know Marvin tried to twist the narrative about what if Barry and them raised the water rate, and so it was feasible to the country, but they were going to do it. They were going to do just before the election. They said no increase. But said it when he became Minister of Public Utilities. No increase. So what is the problem now? What is the problem now? That is why it's just shoot them away like a fly. Like a big old blue fly, shoot them away. Andy, thanks a lot and all. You have a good day later.
Thank you very much.
Before you go, and I don't want you to go from your device. Somebody just called me to ask you to call them. And they said I could mention their number, so you can get in contact with them now. 360-360. I'm giving you time to get some kind of writing instrument, and unless you're not like, well, if you're not like me, you'll have to get one. 360-2200. So very easy. 360-2200. 2200. They asked to call them now. Right? Go ahead, Andy.
Andy, good morning. Good morning, Mickie, Lennox, everybody. A nice, blessed, rainy day, and the rain was, the PNM nastiness. But Andy, the guy who spoke up earlier on about the PNM, you can't trust them. They every corner and every crack looking to bring on events. The man is quite right. We all know this. They do this for years. Since Eric William days they're doing it. And now they're even more nasty because you'll be a man who go and leave all the tricks with them. And what we have to do is pray. Pray for Mr. Bessess and all the ministers. Pray, and we continue, we will do well eventually. God help us. You all have a blessed day, Andy, and you all continue the good work. That is what the lady is talking about. remember the very left by me, you drive on the corner where I was telling you about? Her father and her brother get lot of state land. But
Oh, that one, I think I read that next message is from my ears only. So that is why thing to make sure. Let's continue there quick. Boom, 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 boom.
Morning, Andy. I just want to find out if you could find out and put it on the radio how you're getting back your permit now after you had they take it from you from the demerit points. Please let everybody know. Please. Amen.
Well, Lennox Smith, after, let me let you hear the rest of the
Morning,
message.
Andy. I want to know how you're getting back your permit after the demerit point and they took it from you. Please let the listeners know how you go about getting it.
Good morning, Ground Report. This is Shawanas. We will never forget 2013 when the PNM, with the supporters, with the help of Abdullah and his supporters, mount a demonstration to try to overthrow the government. We must mount our own demonstration to make sure the government remain in power and the legislation get through parliament. We must also tell the country that PNM Army is jungled and gone. Come the 23rd of May, we must line the streets from Superior, come right down to Port of Spain with the arrival of our Prime Minister, the mother of the nation, and welcome the mother of the nation in the Red House. Let it be known in Trinidad and Tobago, throughout the world, that the mother of the nation arrived.
Andy morning, good morning, Ground Report, Trinidad and Tobago. Andy, I just want to say, imagine on the news this morning, they say 3 reservoirs get replenished. What these people was really doing for 10 years, you never hear that, it never had water, don't mind rainfall plenty, it never had water in the reservoir with them. That is performance, Andy. That is we government, performance all the way. Have a good day.
Yeah, that's the blessing of our government, and that don't have nothing to perform. That have everything to do with goodness and godliness. Because now a new government come, the reservoir full. But when the last government, rain falling all over, everywhere flooded, but the reservoir empty. So the blight and them gone. Rains are back to fall. The reservoir them falling, boy. Boy, be animals blind boy, Lennox boy. You know what I'm saying?
I had to agree, boy, because I can't see, because at one time you remember I said that I didn't believe in supernatural and necromancy and so on. Remember at time I said so, but Rowling caused me to believe in it. And of course, the fact that things has reversed so suddenly after the 28th of April, that reinforced my newly found belief that they really and truly, there are people who have a predisposition to evil, and evil will follow them no matter what. There's a German term called Schadenfreude, where people, of course, take delight in, of course, seeing people in misery. Well, I think that the PNM has morphed, has evolved into such an enterprise. That is why I love to call them a criminal enterprise. They know no cult what.
I'd access something too. I'd access something too.
The resources of the country.
Somebody called and mentioned, since they scrapped the demerit points, how people going to get back their license? Do you find out? Did you find out yet what system are put in place? And if they could just go and get back the license, or they had to wait still, or the legislation, yes, will pass, but...
they will have to wait for the legislation, because, of course, they will be easily told that the authorities will say they have no instructions. we had a recent situation, the situation, let's say, with Earl Christopher. While, of course, the public knew that she was exonerated, the matter was dismissed by the Director of Public Prosecution, but the acting Commissioner of Police got no formal documents, so she couldn't pick up her position. Is it? So I suspect, I know that will be the same. You must get some legal basis for doing that. You can't just say you hear that and then you act. Why it may have come from the Prime Minister. When a Prime Minister speaks or a minister speaks, that is public policy. You take it for granted that they're speaking the truth. But there are other processes that you have to use in order to back up that and to give protection to the person who will be making that decision to give back the driver's permit or to squash those demerit points that once was.
Good morning, Ground Report, Trinidad and Tobago. Andy, I just want to say, imagine on the news this morning, they say 3 reservoirs get to replenish. What these people was really doing for 10 years, you never hear that. It never have water. Don't mind rainfall plenty. It never have water in the reservoir with them. That is performance, Andy. That is we government. Performance all the way. Have a good day.
Andy, I see in trouble with Dr. Mulila and Professor Bell Antoine at the University of West Indies regarding the Debe campus. She wanted to turn it into a medical faculty there, but he's saying that it was built for law. So he wants to know where she will get funding from, because he's saying that if they have no law teaching there, the government is funding that. And the place in a dilapidated position, boy, if you see ocean thing going up there, boy, and that PNM government had that place run down. And we Bell Antoine Motors all the time when the place is being run down like that. She quiet, it's only now you see she bumping, she gum, and want to do all this other foolishness as this government change hands. All the time you didn't hear nothing more of that. But we'll wait and see what's going on. Have a good day, Andy. Good morning, Andy. Let me congratulate Marsha Walker on the elevation as a senator. Kamala Prasad named her Minister of Macro and Business yesterday. So congratulations, Marsha Walker. Keep up the good job. Macro and all the UNC business and putting it outside.
Wait. The government make Marsha Walker a senator? How do we make Marsha Walker a senator before my boy Lennox Smith? Let me hear this again. Marsha Walker, UNC makes you a senator? Oh, let me. You must make Lennox a senator before she? Let me hear this, yes?
Good morning, Andy. Let me congratulate Marsha Walker on the elevation as a senator. Kamala Prasad named her Minister of Macro and Business yesterday. So congratulations, Marsha Walker. Keep up the good job. Macro and all the UNC business and putting it outside. You have nothing else to do. I tell you, ask Richard for the boy child, you know. Ask him. Have a good day, Andy.
Senator Macro and Kamala business.
So, Andy, your earlier comment would have, of course, sent shivers down the spine of a lot of the callers, a lot of the listeners. I mean, they would have been in a state of trepidation and trauma. But of course, we realize now that it was sarcasm to the highest, and was well placed because it has a tinge of course, comic relief as well. So we can have a little laugh.
No, but everybody was wondering there too, saying, what? They make Marsha Walker, so they listening to here. Now Marsha Walker get Minister of Macro and Kamala business. That's only in Trinidad, yes?
And to make it more semi-believable, of course, you say, how the hell they could be voting Lennox? Why is that? Yeah. I'm sure you had people in a country.
Like to drive them up and say, Marsha get appointment and Lennox Smith and get none? No. Let me hear this day. So everybody is locked on to hear
Yes,
what?
yes.
She's the
Momentarily, yes.
Minister of Mickie and Kamala Prasad Bisesa, the Honorable Prime Minister, Business. Oh my God. What a position Marshall Walker got.
Morning, Andy. Yes, I just want to ask you to interview Raw Fire, all right, by a phone call, really. What could cause him to be so bitter in this early stage of governance who he supported? However, on Facebook, I saw he lambasted the Prime Minister with all difficult kind of words I cannot say, right? I don't even think those words call for. Or for he to be so bitter, he should come on your ground report and express himself why he should be so when he supported them so strong against the PNM, right? This is something that plagued the nation, right? For the nation to be twisted, okay? I would prefer you give him a call and let him
Man,
speak, or either
I know
he
waste my time with no Raw Fire, man, and them kind of thing. Anytime with them like that, I go interview he to set a cost on the program and all kind of thing. At the end of the day, it always has an agenda. And 1 minute you are supporting the government, well, the UNC, and then so quick he turn. It goes to show, don't get tied up. He's irrelevant to me. To me, he really and truly never persuade anybody, really. Honestly. So, and I really don't deal with them kind of, I don't deal with people. So.
There's a term that is used for people like that. During the time when, of course, he was making believe, let's put it that way, he was moving forward with his hand bricks up. So it means, therefore, he was going northward. And now, of course, that he thought that the opposite would have been the case in terms of the outcome of the elections. He's now suffering from what is called cognitive dissonance, where, of course, he's still in disbelief that the handsome victory that was delivered to the UNC, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, and the coalition of interests, he's still in a state of disbelief. So, what we can do for him,
I will quick interview Stacks.
Every morning, listen to the ground report, and eventually, of course, I think your malady, which is more psychological, will dissipate. That's all we can tell him.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, not me, I'm not going to hit that power. And then all of a sudden, after I interview
leave him alone.
Yeah.
Let him listen on his own volition, use his own money to pay electricity and internet, etc., in order to, of course, buy a television or a computer. No need to assist him there. Yeah. Because, of course, he can't believe that which he was promoting has materialized.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, the next day, you're hearing Pitbull, your mom, your F, your Z, your Y, your me. Yeah. I don't like Washang, boy. He's a Washang.
It will be self-inflicted. Yeah, you shoot yourself in the
that's a Washang.
If you only entertain such an individual, yeah.
What's that kind of language on all them kind of thing and whatever? He remind me of this boy who did kill who was thinking he was famous, Kevon. But still Kevon, to me, I can say I correct Kevon than man, let me continue, yes? Let's continue our program.
You got the information I sent.
Go ahead, caller. I'm going to check it.
Yeah. Yeah, morning again, Andy. Hello?
Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Somebody say who?
All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to tell the PNM people something. Okay, yesterday we were having a problem with them. Now, why would just go down PNM people? 5 years. This Kamala Prasad Bisesa come to do. And they see that kind of so-called carrying on in the streets. Well, you gotta be careful of who you carrying it to because you come around with everybody with that and have all kind of bad mouth thing to say. But what you don't know over there? Performance will beat all talking this wrongs. The PLM will not be able to regroup itself in the next 15 to 20 years in this country. Get that in a thick political skull. There's nothing in the PLM that is going to make Trinidad and Tobago gravitate towards them. Dr. already did all the damage to the PLM already. That is why you didn't listen to Manning. You didn't listen to Manning. That destruction can't wipe away, 5 years to come back and play again. It can't right now, you don't know. Or you don't know. Or you don't know what it is, or what do to Trinidad and Tobago. We're not going to work with a government who seeks to close down Petrotrin. You know what is Petrotrin right now? This president administration going to fight to open back that. So you PLM people don't bring the race thing in the community. I've seen that. And I want to tell you something. When you say Kamala Prasad, she win, everybody win. Yes, everybody win. But you see, you contractors with the European, the CPIP, you will only win by the supermarket, you will win by the lower cost of living, and you will win by every other thing that your contract that was politically pointed. Just like how when the PNM came to take it right away from everybody who was under the UNC, that is going to happen. I heard one contractor saying he have until 2029 in office to do CPAP work. I want to know which government and which contractor could have that, but there's one saying it. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Bless.
Thank you very much. Next one.
Gentlemen, good morning. Good rainy Wednesday morning to the Ground Report UNC family. Now, you always say what is in your front burner. So this morning I want to address an issue that has been there and realize why our system in this country is so corrupted. I live within the borough of the Tunapuna Regional Corporation. I had a problem once and I need to address the situation. I tried to address it on their Facebook profile, but lo and behold, only the Tunapuna Regional Corporation could post things on their Facebook profile. So the public could not post any problems they had. And whenever you call, there was a runaround to get service from the Tunapuna Regional Corporation. I had to go into the regional corporation and address my concern. It takes me about, after I reported that problem, that is about roughly 2 months for the officers to come. And they came with a 25-seater maxi with about 8 persons inside there. And they stood on the road and tried to address my problem. I told them, ma'am, you have to come into the area, which is to walk about 50 feet and see the complaint I'm speaking about. They said, they gave me a little card and said, here what, if you're having further problem, to call them again. They have other places to go and check out. And they never come and see my problem. So how could service be effective in this country from the government departments in all over the place, especially almost all municipal corporations, especially ones controlled by the PNM. And the problem is still the same today. Nothing has changed. These are issues that those in authority now must address. They must address these issues in order for our country to move forward. Things have to change. And I'm hoping to see that change. That is why I voted for the government. So gentlemen, thank you very much for highlighting this problem. God bless. Have a good day and wonderful day.
Now, I want to say happy birthday to Timothy. Happy birthday to Timothy. Right. Somebody say here to imagine Andy the Pitbull saying he don't like Wajang behavior. Ha ha ha. I don't like Wajang behavior. If I say Washang, my Washangness was never to be cussing normal people or just there on stupidness. When I get on like a washang, it's for senior citizens to get their pension on time. It's for the hospitals to have medication. It's for the hospitals to have dialysis machines. It's for squatters to get drainage and at least a little proper roads. It's for the crime situation, the bad roads. I are washang for the right thing. So you had to like a washang like me. I a nasty, dirty, stinking washang fighting for the poor. I's not a washang Rowley. Rowley's a washang just like the rest of them two fireborn, them fellas with the note about the Roman, all them. That was washang of nuisance. So I told you I learned a lot from Lennox Smith. That was washang of nuisance. Irrelevant stupidness. Be a washang for the right thing. And I was always a washang for the right thing. You didn't see how I was a washang during the pushback movement? I was a washang when they're forcing people, and still is a washang to take injection that kill plenty people that did not want to take it, and plenty people sickened today. So yeah, I the minister of washang for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, but for the right thing. Yeah. Really hell.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because, one has to be very, very concerned with the statements made by Alwari. Apart from, of course, saying that the government wouldn't last a year, he went on, of course, in another iteration of that trend to state that people will be victimized. And he mentioned, of course, thousands of CPEP workers and URP workers and so on. But I want to tell not only Alwari, but all of those who may want to believe that somehow your navel string is buried or you have some kind of legitimacy. Well, let me tell you something. When a government is changed, political appointees, as is the case with CPEP and URP and so on, they simply have to make their departure, as indeed we have seen with respect to state enterprises. And of course, in that case, we are talking about directors of companies, state enterprises. So let us get it straight.
So like the EMBD.
Political appointees appointed by the last government must make their departure for the political appointees of the new administration, because it's only they can, of course, execute the policies and programs that are people-centered, not like the previous one, where, of course, you have a few people eating from the national pie and sharing nothing. And therefore, I would advise you to make your departure and do not listen to Alwari and to suggest that somehow you are being victimized, and you have, of course, a right to stay where they put you. When he was talking about to PNM people who, of course, took the risk and, of course, took their job and found themselves on the wrong side of the political divide. And now that whether you're in CPEP or URP or any other state enterprise or government position that are political appointments, let me repeat, political appointments, you have to leave. Just as how the reverse is the case where if the opposite is the case. But in this particular case, the UNC, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, and the coalition of interest have, of course, been approved by the electorate on the 28th of April. So please, do not be fooled, hoodwinked, or deceived by Alwari and his hogwash. He is attempting, of course, to generate a dog whistle in order to protect himself, because he finds it very difficult that the present administration is not saying anything about the known and the provable iniquities that they would have engaged in, he in particular as well, whilst they were in government over the last 9 years. But we have a very prudent, a very sagacious, and of course, an eruditic leadership in, of course, led by Kamala Persad-Bissessar and the new administration. So take your time, Al-Rari. You'll get what you're coming to. I know you're talking about blue lights and silver bracelets, as well as, of course, the whole question of civil legal action. I thought I should say that so that people are not fooled by the nonsensicalities of these fellows. They're pretending to love you now, but when they had the opportunity, they were evil, diabolical, wicked, nefarious, and indeed, of course, political parasites.
Hey, yes, Slimy. Anytime he disrespectful, you will get banned again. Boy, I don't know, the man only opening various accounts, boy. When I block him so, he pop back up so. I don't know how he doing this thing, boy. The man like a real slimy man, boy. He said the UNC reservoirs get full. He said praise Jesus, right? He's a real fool, right? I love my WhatsApp. All right, Slimy. Don't Lennox have a record? Oh boy. Oh boy. Anna. Yes, Anna. It's a kill me yet. Oh, they can't kill me yet? Okay. All right. You're only raising your head. Andy's not a pit bull. He's projecting. He's a chihuahua. All right. At least a chihuahua can still bite here. All right. All right. So I like what a comment I see from Mr. Munsami, which is be a good wajang. So I'm a very good wajang for the writing. Right? If you want to check, as an influencer, only have never seen me come out there and fighting an average person, a normal person in any way. When I fighting a businessman, a courts, or American stores, that somebody buy something or go hire purchase, and then by law, just 2 more months to play and come and take back people thing, and bailiff, and the hospitals, and bad roads, and them is the things I fight for. Water in the taps, yeah, medications when we go to the public pharmacies, whether it be at the health offices or hospitals, that we get medication. That way, when we go to the hospital, we must not stay long. 12 hours to get taken care of in the hospital. Sometimes people in our hospital whole day. Yeah, to make sure we are ambulance, to pick up people on time, to make sure police, when you call them, they must be able to come on time and have a vehicle to come and not damn carrying the horn, a woman and them all over in the damn police vehicle and going to make groceries and them kind of thing. That is where my Wajan behavior is coming. My Wajan behavior have always been for the betterment of the poor and downtrodden, for the voiceless people.
I wouldn't pay these comments and those trollers any significant consideration. Not that you are doing, because of course you are making a very valid point. But the thing is that they are suffering, of course, from what a lecturer told me at one time, that the truth does offend, and people just start to cuss. Well, of course they are venting, but of course it's good therapy for us to be here, so that we could provide them with the therapy, because of course they are in denial, and therefore what is happening now is that to accept the reality of the situation, because all of them would have been against Kamala Persad-Bissessar, the UNC, even us, when we were telling them the truth and nothing but the truth. And I'll tell you something, my experience has been, there's some very intelligent people who were anti-Kamala, were anti, of course, her ability to take the UNC into government. I calling them now, and I can't get them at all. So it is not at that level alone, because I assume that fella is at a particular level, having regard to the kind of words that he would use. You could tell by that alone. But of course, you have some very intelligent people in insurance, etc., and are calling them, of course, only to say, well, you were wrong, and they simply not are unable, of course, to accept the fact that there is a new reality and that they were wrong. And I'm sorry to say, but I have to say it, that, of course, you were wrong, and therefore come to grips with it, because you are started with it for not just 5 years, I can tell you that now, but 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, and we on and on until, of course, our life would have expired several generations into the future. That is how it is, because the simply would be, of course, relegated to the dustbin of history, as Andy rightly, of course, show the steps that would, of course, cause them to be lost their political currency, and therefore not to be worthy of the consideration of the electorate.
Right,
now and in the future.
Somebody said Victor Roberts, like he lying down in the coffin still, he was dragging around. Like he lied down in the coffin still, he was dragging around.
They have to accept that. They have to accept those recriminations, because they simply made wrong choices in circumstances. And somebody called me during the course of the program here too. You saw me on the phone, and asked about that, asked about him as well. And I have to tell them, I said that we discovered Victor Roberts in Deep South, and we saw him as, of course, as a dynamo. And what we did, we brought him to the north, and we set up, of course, wrote up the first organization that was created, the Irene something, and he started to work. And what the plan was that, of course, he is in La Brea, and we are in the north here, and therefore, in the fullness of time, both societies or both organizations or both addresses will come together under one cause. And of course, the cause was recognizing that the UNC is the only vehicle that could take Trinidad and Tobago forward, but somehow he lost it during the course. Well, I should say nearing the finish line, because let's face it, I suppose that is why it is more hurtful for people like Victor Roberts and they to come to the surface now and to, of course, salvage whatever they can salvage at this point in time. I can tell him that he has an open door with respect to Lennox Smith, because I did speak to him when, of course, I saw him, of course, aligning with what was considered to be the dissidents. And I told him, don't forget that we have a particular cause. And if anything would jeopardize that cause, then you have to abandon that and let us stay the course. But obviously he didn't.
He lost the way. Go ahead, caller.
Morning, Andy.
Good morning to you, sir. Where are you calling from, and what's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
I'm calling from Las Lomas.
Las Lomas. Go ahead, Las Lomas.
Yeah. Anytime all you have any spare time, you could give me a call on this number. What Mr. Santa Cruz was talking about John Rahal. I'll carry all you and show you with John Rahal developing on a piece of land. You see the scheme in the thing, Andy and Lennox, is you buy a piece of land and you lay it rest for about a little 15, 20 years. Nobody ain't say nothing. And all of a sudden you come out now. And he's developing a piece of land, a lot of housing and things going up in the back table. Anytime you just call this number, and I will tell you where to come and meet me, and we will go and I will show you the piece of land. Another thing.
I will want to be involved in that for sure, because this is unfair. You cannot gormandize on the people's resources, and you alone and your family and your immediate family alone getting at the expense of the rest of us. No, this is not right. It is not fair. It is not equitable.
One more thing.
Yeah, one more thing. Go ahead.
In 2010, when Kamala Prasad win the election, listen to me carefully, Lennox.
Yes.
When they win the election, I was working in a company, and they had a meeting with one of the ministers. There's now gone in government. One of the ministers was Sharma from Faizabad. I hope you remember him.
Yes, I remember him, yes. He was a dominant figure there politically, yeah.
And they came in, I was working in the boardroom. I was working in the boardroom. And you know, when he come and he went up to the mic to talk, this CEO of this company, advantaging me all the time, he was the campaign manager for some big P&M Sawati. And the man advantaging all the workers, boy, and the man had paying me back pay and all kind of thing. And the first thing Chandra Sharma come and say on that microphone, he say, this is my good friend, man. Thank you very much. And you see, I want them to put down the foot now. You know, politics have a kind of way when a government go out, they say, nah, well, leave them, let it go now, leave them, let it go. I hoping and praying that they put down the foot this time and make an example out of these ministers, these ex-ministers. So politics have a kind of way that play tricky boy, Lennox. The man, well, big up the man and thing, boy, and the man remain right. But they just throw and kick this man out of the and for advantaging the employees and him. The man hug up the man, boy, and the man bigging up the man and he say, well, we's friends from long time, and he's the real man to watch when they rip that company, boy. It's a state enterprise, eh? They rip that company and finance manager and all of them, oh God, boy, you know, they had a good time in that. And watch me, we suffer up to now, we ain't getting back pay, you know. In 2015, the last back pay on the Kamala Prasad business, we never get them. We look how years pass, but we money still bubbling inside it. So anytime you're ready, call the number, this number, come up the road. You want to go take you with my car, you go park my car home, anything you want to do.
Not doing that. What I'm doing right now is what saving your number. That was doing there. I'll make sure I'm not doing that. I'll call Lennox. Say you go, I'll you meet me, and you'll come and meet you, and we go and check out our scenes.
Right. Take care of it.
All right. Thank you very much.
And you would recall, of course, I was facing a similar situation when Mulal, after the 2010 elections, asked me to go to check as CEO. So, of course, I was trying to get a CPEP contract for a member of the Laventille community. And when I realized that it was the man who drive behind me, run me down to tell me to take a UNC flyer of the wall next to the PNM office that they were forced to have on Old St. Joseph Road. Well, you were part and parcel of it. You know that I refused to go and talk to the man. Yeah, prefer to lose that rather than. But I suspect and I know that experience is the best teacher. So and Kamala Prasad,
he passed away.
Prime Minister, did in fact say that she will not make them kind of mistakes again, because you leave these people there, they will of course pursue their own agenda and undermine the present administration. So I'm glad that Gypsy and all of them have been read the Riot Act, and they have of course made their departure, resisting of course, but nonetheless make their departure, as I expect with URP, as I expect with CPEP. Political appointees I'm talking about here, and all of the state enterprises and directors thereof.
All right.
All of them must go. Yes.
All of them must go. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Andy Williams and Mr. Lennox.
Good morning to you, and where you're calling from, and what's your contribution on the board? Arima.
Can I ask you a question?
No problem.
I am Mr. Mickie K. And hope he's being groomed for house speaker on Friday, please God. Could you answer me that?
Oh, you're missing Mr. Mickie K, and you hope he's being groomed to be a house speaker.
all right. That's wonderful. That's commendable.
Yes.
But Mickie is around, and he will be, of course. We have taken an oath among us to stay the course. And because we know what the PNM their strategy will be, to try to sanitize themselves and become suddenly immaculate and believe that the people will forget what they did to the population and they could just ride back because they named PNM into office. No, they have to repent and repent. So right now they are in purgatory, and it will remain there there for
Good
some
morning.
time.
Andy Lennox and all the listeners. About the laptops, the minister has already said that there will be tenders sent out and they are going through the iGov TT people, and I am absolutely confident that the tendering procedure will go as planned, and they will get they'll get a good supply of laptops and devices. Okay, everyone, have a good day and be careful with the rain.
All right. Oh boy. So
Andy checks this out. This is man with the laptop. I sent it for you. The furnished laptop.
yeah, I see him. I see him. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hey, Kerry Reed. Good morning, Kerry Reed. Hey.
Andy, good morning.
Rock, good morning to you, Rock.
It's been a long time. What I want to say about this guy, Marva Gonzalez, saying that why they should raise the electricity rate. Well, you think he's still in government? These guys don't understand to let go and go away and come out forever, disappear, go somewhere like in Mars or somewhere. Huh? These guys don't have no shame.
Wow. No shame.
Hey, Andy, good morning. Well, good morning. Hey, Andy, I want to talk to someone. I got 10 acres of land in Tabaki. 10 acres of cocoa and coffee land in Tabaki, sitting there doing nothing. We are planning to do something with it. I don't know. Maybe do agriculture with somebody. Lease it for me or rent it for me to do agriculture, but it's not for sale right now. But it's 10 acres of cocoa and coffee land in Tabaki, main road. I'll be there in next week. I'm coming down to take a look at my house and some land. And Andy, I wonder, how can we utilize that land and benefit to the people? I mean, we have it sitting there doing nothing, 10 acres of cocoa and coffee, just sitting there. The land is, good soil, really good soil. I don't know how we can utilize it. Maybe I'll talk to someone. I will practice about that.
All right, when you come down, you will talk to me and Lennox. We will tell you how to utilize that, especially, we will let you know how we are utilizing that land. Right? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hey, let me say a happy birthday to Ravi, aka Postman.com mother. Today's Ravi mother's birthday. Mommy, a happy birthday to you. Next caller, morning.
Yes, good morning. And this is the Ground Report.
This is the Ground Report, and where are you calling from?
Port of Spain.
Okay, and how could we help you on the Ground Report? What is your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
Oh, you hear me now?
Yeah, we are hearing you all along.
Okay. I already forget. Considering this land squatting, it has been going on for a while. I want to know if government does give you a piece of land to build your house on, why must they also build it? You understand what I'm saying? Hello?
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, but if government giving you a piece of land, right? Well, that would be like the former. Well, this government before, when Kamala was there, they had a land free landless program that will give you land,
right?
Give you lease aid for a timing and put things in place with to help build it, however. That is because
Yeah,
poor
but
people.
they have these people taking up, just squatting, just so. Nobody's putting us up. If you see one person squatting, you see two with probably a wooden structure, you see three. You put a stop to that because all of a sudden it will become concrete. And then they get electricity, I don't know how. And then they get water, and then they want to demolish the whole thing. I think we need, when you see something happening, they say something, do something.
Nice. And that was encouraged from since PNM time, where PNM don't like to get nobody land other than rich people. And it
Give
end
you
up,
grant left and right and center, so you could concentrate on them. All
Right.
kind of grant for people that can't. You understand? You can't help yourself. You have to learn to help yourself.
all right.
You get anything free all the time, so.
Okay then. I be in a squat, grew up in a squatting community. I agree with you that squatting is illegal. You don't supposed to do that over it go. But whether private or public, let me get an idea what's the law, what's the rules. The owner of a private property, if it is they're really minding the business, there's no way somebody could organize and end up with adverse possession of their land unless they're not minding the business and the person end up there for over a period of time where that private person can't move the person. So is the government. The government are all supposed to have various agencies in place, marking state lands, like what the MBD doing, but they're doing it to favor them, their friends and family, to make sure that nobody enrich that tenure, that lengthy time, where technically the land belongs to them. Right. Again, as Trinidad and Tobagonians, due to the PNM, land and ownership of land have escalated so high that it's very hard for the average person, citizen, that is working on a minimum wage in Trinidad and Tobago, but the minimum wage was only put in place under a UNCA. But before that, we didn't have a minimum wage. Understand? It had a Housing Development Corporation, which is still here, AGC, that was supposed to put things in place to build houses for citizens, but was moving very, 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 very slow at the end of the day. The average person that working for minimum wage is in the majority, and they cannot afford to go to buy no private land or to buy lands and things just so it no. Hence the reason it have a land settlement agency, a government understanding the market, understanding the value of land. The PNM back then was supposed to be building houses and giving lands out to the people to build it on their own. But that wasn't going on. They never liked that. But people had to live. People can't pay rent. So what they do as a Trinidad and Tobago citizen that have a bird paper, they look for available lands to go and start something under human rights. Everybody under the human rights law, under the constitution, have the right to shelter, have the right to eat, have the right to security. We have a squatters we have a law for squatters that was put in place because the PNM again is we the poor people see big people squatting on state land that have money to buy land. The state ain't doing them nothing. The PNM wasn't doing them nothing. Leaving them there on state land, but coming and mashing down poor people homes. And it take a caring UNC government under Basio Pandey, John Humphrey them, that realize that that is not right. Because if the state not providing shelter, people have to live. And it take a caring government, the UNC government, to bring the Squatters Regularization Act of 1998, understanding that the people have rights. to shelter. That now give everybody the status of a certificate of comfort, or give us an ease in people coming and breaking down your homes and all them kind of bacchanal thing. So you know what that come like? Alwari children was on the range with illegal rifle. Them get we. It wrong. Them get we. My children go on the range with illegal rifle. Them go and get locked up. Land is a thing is supposed to be for everybody in Trinidad and Tobago. The government have to make shelter or land available, and the UNC have been doing that for every single citizen. And they have to study the most vulnerable. A PNM government running this country for 50 years is what creates squatting. Because they never believe in giving people land. Black people land. They don't like to give nobody land. Understand? What something? How many houses they build since PNM come in power? 10 years they're running. How many people that already have the certificates of comfort, and after the certificates of comfort, you're supposed to get statutory lease for about 15 years to 30 years. It's only recently in my constituency, the biggest one there, Grandi, Valencia, and various areas, we're seeing house number, 3,000 this, 2,000 that. The house number, mono them to mamagai people. But the land settlement agency have been dormant and people getting paid. Plenty people were supposed to already be in the process of the statutory lease and not there. So understand how big this thing is. This thing is bigger, ma'am, than you think. No, I am in no way will encourage anybody to go on anybody private land or to go and just squat on state land or if it go. But, because squatting is illegal. But we have to understand that a government and a caring government have to. Who poor person you know could go and buy a lot of land? A lot of land is all kind of $500,000, $1 million. A house and land now going for nothing less than $1.2 million. And that is real small thing still. How them getting that? How them even qualifying for a bank to get them that? That money to buy that. That is why the whole situation with government giving land is subsidized land. Giving it at a subsidy price, a small price in order to give it the opportunity to move forward. And when they gain your homes, HEC homes, they gain your subsidized HEC homes. In order to give you the avenue to be able to get it. Because if it wasn't subsidized, your salary, the average person, average man's salary would not have been able to buy those HEC homes. But that is what government had to do because we money. The country have billions and billions and billions. This last government in 10 years throw away. Make a Stuart Young brother them company with it worth less than 100 million, worth about $7-8 billion now we money. Them borrow from banks to lend Trinidad and Tobago and them now rich. That we money. Look how just a few individuals end up with we money. Just a few individuals controlling all we land. One to the average person. And that's what gas subsidies come in. I agree with gas subsidies. That is given back to us. So them thief, all right. They take off gas subsidies. They didn't improve our roads. That extra money did anything when it comes to the development of Trinidad and Tobago. No, that extra money they take away for gas subsidies went in the pockets of the financiers and friends and family. Yeah. Wherever they take over the laptops, that money, what you see them do with it? Nothing. That went to the pocket of somebody. Everything they do and they take away from us. When this fool, ballhead fool, or one of them that say about the food cards, some of them they talk about, they are so happy that they cut the food cards. Lennox always talking about it. They're so happy they cut the food cards. Who they talk about that? How much food cards and how much money they save?
Cockburn and later Donna Cox. It appears that this cock talk seem to be synonymous with, of course, that level of thinking that they cannot see that. And in one case, there was a policeman, and they was strident in terms of. And without, of course, looking at the unique situation, that man maybe have about 3 different women, maybe, and children, and so on, and therefore he sought a food card. You cannot just draw a generic condemnation without looking at the specific circumstance, and that is why these people are so unfit, square peg and round hole for these ministries. Cockburn was delighted to take 11,000 persons off the food card program.
Look at that. All right, they take 11,000 people off the food card program. So all right, they must be saved how much, about 10 million, 20 million. All right. And what did they do with it? Corrupt it out. So I always would rather.
It has not saved where it mattered, and that is to say the crime and criminality, because it started to escalate to historic, continuous, repeatedly proportions. In the last 3 or 4 years of the PNM, we have had record-breaking murders. The record of Manning was 537, and then it started to escalate under Rowley up to last year and the year before. So all of these factors would have contributed to, of course, that level of violence in the society, and that's just one aspect of it.
But not only that, Lennox Smith and Trinidad and Tobago, all you understand, be glad if a government doing that, because it means without it directly just having a check. When the month comes saying, look at $1,000 a month for the patronaries of Trinidad and Tobago, whether it be the oil, the gas, whether it be whatever industry that we are in. Look the patrimonies of Trinidad and Tobago. So, you know, it have countries where every month they give the citizens.
They give them dole, call it dole, dole it out.
They give them thing as part of the patronaries, right? That is what go on.
Because these are the country,
Right, so that is where the patronaries of what is we own, whether the subsidized houses, that is we getting back out of we think, that means the money sharing. That when they take it, all is to the politicians.
Of a government to make their population feel comfortable so that they could productively contribute to the development of the state or the country. That lady who spoke there, I heard that before. You see, that if the government gave, in this case, she said, well, a piece of land, why you had to help them? You had to help the person with the house, with constructing the house. Why they cannot do
so
it
when end up squatting,
there are people who would not be able so to do, and the state has a responsibility to provide adequate housing as part of the fundamental rights of the citizens. But of course, I suspect that the people who speak like that are people who have already gotten theirs, and they probably sacrifice and so on, and they expect that others must. But they must understand that there are people who try as they may, but are similarly in need of shelter. They are unable, of course, to start, far less to complete something that they will call their home or house. And therefore, you have to understand that that is part and parcel of what is called the welfare state that was developed by the UK, the United Kingdom. When, of course, they have to recognize that there are certain people in the society who will not be able to, of course, be able-bodied and, of course, contribute to themselves, far less to the state. But to generate the peace and security, you need to be able to so engage. What are you going to say, for example, a person who would have been born, for example, a paraplegic or differently able? That person clearly would not be able to help themselves, far less to get a piece of land, if even provided by the state, and to begin to build a home. And therefore, the state has that responsibility. I just using that as an extreme example, but there are able-bodied people who are similarly indisposed, if you want to call it that.
Not only that, the reason too, you have to help people when they get them land, when the government gives state land, and you have to help them. They don't give them state land and don't give them a plan. Right? It's how to get a plan. You have different plans. about 5 different plans, house plans, that you'll have to follow in building it. Because remember, a squatting community is a unplanned community where you will see when rain fall, it have flooding because somebody block up a drain, somebody block up a road, somebody gets squeezed out here, somebody gets squeezed out there. So the UNC had come with us.
It has to move in.
Yeah.
It has to move in and regularize that.
Yeah.
And I mean, and in the case of the argument that then why must the poor be subjected to such harsh, let's say, existence, not being able to get a piece of land to start a home, but the very rich and connected are getting acres of land,
and then going to the bank,
do business and to become more and more rich. So there is an equilibrium. There is a fairness that must be built in, because as human beings we are talking about, and therefore we must be, of course, our brother's keeper. And the state has the ultimate responsibility to make certain that you distribute the resources of the country as equitably as possible. And that is some of the fundamental reasons why you will have a situation where the state provides land and will, of course, assist at least in minimum with a starter house.
Because watch out, let me go an example for those of you who don't understand. Going to San Fernando, before the extension of the highway, all you know with the technical institute there with John Royal and them get through with that currently land there, I think South Park Mall or South Mall right there with that Toyota, all of them there. That is state land, right? Them get through with that. Free. Them went to the bank with that lease. Get through with money to build the mall. What's that? What's that? And then renting and making money off of we land, and they don't give back to society. That is how dread it is. So if they could do that,
because they are connected, simply because they are connected to the what I can say the government or the state apparatus, simply because they are connected and are being favored. But the ordinary man has to grovel and to scrunt and to, of course, go through all kinds of procedure in order to get a piece of state land.
We call that place, but we call it right, that's South Park.
They become delinquent as a consequence.
South Park Mall. You understand? That right there by the roundabout we had to take to go into Marbella when you come off the highway there. That whole thing there, you seen Toyota, you seen KFC, you seen Rituals, you seen this, you seen grocery, you seen that. And everybody they renting. And then, well, they say, no, well, the sister is opposite. We're seeing high-rise building.
Millions for the owners.
Millions and nice state land that them get free. So why we must fight an average poor person that cannot afford and need shelter, go on state land and squat, because the state didn't provide shelter for them? Why we will fight them and we will leave people who have multi-millionaires, millionaires, have real money, them get state land free, and them get bank to lend them 30, 40, 50 million dollars to produce the land.
On that land that,
same land.
They did
holding that land as collateral. Yeah,
using that land as collateral.
Or using the land as collateral.
The latest is, of course, that Ministry of Health headquarters around the Savannah, obliquely opposite Memorial Park. The land itself was vested in a company connected to NH International, and they used that as collateral to find the money to build that edifice you see there called the Ministry of Health headquarters. And now the government, they're sitting back comfortable. Why the government now has to pay the entire cost plus their markup or their profit margin.
Imagine
which
that.
one of us getting that?
Imagine that. All they understand how this land thing going on. Well, all they understand how this land thing going and the acres of acres and land them rich people getting who have money to buy their own land. It's not what they go say. They're supposed to organize and give poor people a piece of flipping land, boy. And the UNC was doing that, which was the Land for the Landless program. On top of that, building starter homes for many people in this country. That the squatting situation had went down bad, real bad. The PNM leave that dormant for a whole 10 years. The squatting situation just explode back again because why? The government was not doing what it's supposed to do. You have to provide shelter for your people. You have to give people land. Not everybody could be able to rent. Because everybody know if you're renting and you ain't pay rent, you might give away a month. You might give away 2 months. But they're going to throw you out, you know. And then where you going to go? Go back home to your family members who renting too. Understand how bad it is. But we go fix that.
And there's another factor, because you have the cause and effect factor, where if you have more people owning their properties and so on, it means therefore the exploitation by unscrupulous home and landowners who have their buildings for rent, the rent and so on will be driven down. We are seeing that right now in Port of Spain, where people are moving out of Port of Spain and going to the malls and so on, or other safer places. And on Frederick Street, you have more than what I would consider to be necessary pubs and talk shops and cafes and so on a street like Frederick Street, the main thoroughfare, the main street in Port of Spain. Long time you would have seen furniture. That's the place to go for beautiful and expensive dresswear, haberdashery, and kitchen items, whether it be utensils or it be appliances and so on. Now, a substantial part of Frederick Street is occupied by talk shops and bars and so on and so on and so forth, but of course it is a result. It is as a result of people moving out of Port of Spain and going into safer places to occupy or to do business, while of course the rent as a consequence in these parts of the country or of Port of Spain now have to be driven down, because the owners of those property must maintain them, that they must pay light bill, water and so on, so they don't mind of course taking a lesser rent. So person like you and I probably could get an office space now in town because of the availability of the government taking a position that would provide homes for people, and therefore the exploitation and the unscrupulous and the huge rents that they would call for their properties will have to be driven down. That is part of the economics.
Not only that, the real estate market in Trinidad and Tobago is a hoax. They blow up their prices. Some of them buildings and them selling and say, worth the money. Yeah. You understand? And that's because that was driven, that is governmental driven. Because of the amount of money to government and all paying to be renting these places that have the rent and all them thing high. You understand?
And they go to the top of the class once again, because you have taken it to another dimension. The reason why, of course, people couldn't get office spaces in Port of Spain is because the government was prepared to pay private owners of buildings in Port of Spain, and I'm talking Port of Spain here, but it could be any part of the country, high exorbitant rent for these premises. Now, and we have seen the most egregious situation where Government Plaza does have space, because Rowley himself said we go up, and the higher you go, is more space is available within, of course, a small a plot of land. But what we have seen, they have deliberately caused Al-Rari and his family and so on to construct buildings at a cheap cost in Port of Spain, and then, of course, rented at exorbitant prices. Thus, of course, stymieing people who may want a little place to rent, but because of the exorbitant prices the government is prepared to pay, the cost of business space, the cost of office space continues to rise, and therefore people would lose an opportunity to probably manifest their entrepreneurial skills.
It's we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, through government, is what fueling that high real estate damn stupidness. Because when you watch good, people buying back building, them put certain amount of money, and in rent, them pay back their money in 2 years, 3 years time, you know, in rent, you know, and get enough money to go and buy, build more buildings and things, you know. It's we were hard at, you see that?
Yeah. The real estate industry was making a killing.
Yeah.
And of course, that kind of money is called unearned income because you can easily hide it. You can easily hide it. You don't pay no tax and so on because you can hide that kind of money.
They make up their mind. They want to get back the whole building. Where money the power, they must get back in 2-3 years time. Man. Like madness. Hence the reason real estate and cost of property, house and all them things in this country is so high that you see some people selling house and land where you see really and truly if you do an evaluation because board rotten here, the bricks cracking so and all them things, the roof leaking so, and them calling million something dollars. When you do an evaluation of that property, in real, they ain't supposed to get no more than about $200,000-$300,000.
Yeah, I have a practical experience. The building that I'm in here now, at one time, it was the people were calling 2 million for it. And of course, I eventually waited. The crime situation got worse and worse. So people want to come around here at all. And eventually, I got it at a very, 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 very reasonable price. And why is I set up something for those young boys on Prince Street itself? I spoke to the owner and I told him he started, of course, with 15,000 a month rent because he said well you could rent and then purchase. Well, I had to break him down after telling him the reality of the place that people are not going to come around here very in the early stages
you
or
will never
in the
get
late
a rent.
stages of these people, these young men wanting to do a little business and so on. And he broke it down and now they are paying 6,000, which I think in itself is too much. I think it should be closer to 4,000 to 5,000, but at least they could afford it. And then we develop a plan where the building pay for it, where the rent pay for itself by occupying the upstairs of the building by providing some kind of accommodation for people who want to rent. And in that way, of course, they can make sure that they meet their rent commitment. And so, as I told them, I want them to be in a position where even if they try, they will not fail. And so that is the reality. So I'm glad that we're talking about real estate and the importance there, because even to do business, I mean, the factors of production are what? Land, labor, capital. Land, labor, capital. You must have a place to do your business. And of course, you must have some human activity. And then, of course, you have to have the capital. Well, these young men, they didn't have the land and they have the capital. And of course, that's another story by itself, because we have to talk about the banks and how and government agencies that are amenable or facilitating or not facilitating, depending on who you are. Remember, I was a director of EBC, sorry, not EBC, the Small Business Development Company, SBDC, and we conducted a survey with a company from Sweden, and the survey said in no certain terms, if you are African, you are least likely to get a loan in a bank. But if you are African and you are from Laventille or East Port of Spain, then you ain't getting it at all. So that is the kind of challenges that business people would have, simply because they're born into a community in the wrong place and in the wrong what I consider to be genetic class. All of those are serious discussions that this government must be engaging, so that you level the playing field as much as you can, utilizing, of course, state resources, policies, and programs in order to equitably distribute and to have people be the best citizens they can be in this circumstance.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, morning, report. Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox. Mickie, morning, Trina. Lennox, I just want to touch on 3 simple points. I hear you're making a statement about a political appointees have to go, right? I just want clarification on that, right? Somebody was working in the government in 2007, right? When the UNC come in power, they continue the service for 5 years. When the PNM come in power, right? They continue the service as a all right, in the establishment. They had grown, so they had moved up from position to position. They say within the 10 years. Now they are saying they are political appointee. Just want to touch on that. Lennox,
right, before I move that, wait, before I move that, did they get that work due to a political appointment, or did they go through the where's the process that they go through where either government or whoever come and go, they can't get rid of them when they get work through that? How is call that again?
Yeah, that's the executive side. The executive side. You call for a accountant, for example, and that has nothing to do with politics. You simply, of course, you have the qualification and you do the competitive process and they select you by some objective criteria, and that's it. So you are there forever. But in terms of political appointees, simply mean it's only because of the government.
It's why
they of the government that you are there.
Right, but did they pass through? It's right here, Woodford Street.
No, he's making a point. I understand what he's saying. The person got appointed, let's say, by let's say the UNC, and then the PNM come in and they retain that person. But then, of course, another party comes in and they decide to get rid of them. Well, I want to say in such circumstance, it is the discretion of the political directorate at the time. We can use Gypsy, for example, as that example, because of course he was connected to the UNC. Clearly, the chairmanship of the NCC was and still is a political appointed position. And now that the government has changed, even though he was part of the UNC at one point in time, even at the level of minister, he has to go.
He had to go. All right. What we will call it, scholar, is should have been safe, or he would have been safe if they did get hired through the Service Commission Department. So you get hired for government work through the Service Commission. No party, whether come or go, could get rid of you. When you is a political appointee, whether by contract or what, it's up to the government to keep you or leave you. He's a political appointee.
What you will call a political appointee? At time of work advertising, you go and you do the process, you get through with the work, government work. No political strings attached. Nobody send no letter from no office to say hire this person, right? You do your due diligence, right? You're in the service over 20 years, and now at this end of the moment you become a political appointee.
No. Not what we saying there. Not 20 years so long and whatever. I don't think there's a political appointee, Lennox.
They serve in two government, three government, right?
All right, listen. You know of such an incident? You know of such a situation?
Yeah,
because I'm certain you can't get rid of that person just so based on what you are saying. But there must be some political factor that would have caused that. If what you're saying is so.
Go ahead,
I'll get back
to you on that. Just so caller.
Yeah, your personal name is on a list, right, to the ministry, right? I will get back on to you. I think I will get the list today, all right, or tomorrow, or something like that.
But you are saying the person working there.
I will be very interested.
So you're saying the person working there 20 years now?
Yeah, the person working close to 17 to 20 years, right? Yeah, because they serve under three government. Twice under the PNM for 2010, 2015 to 20.
All right, but under the service, right? Under the
UNC, under UNC for 5 years, and prior to that, leading up to the UNC getting into power.
All right, but watch. But under their service, is it that they have a contract where that have to renew?
No contract. No, month to month.
Let them send the information. Yeah. I think when we get the information, we'll sharpen it. But I don't think it has worked out as straight as he said. I don't think so. I think there are other factors that we may have overlooked, or he may have overlooked.
I feel so too. Because I can't see somebody working there so long. And
because you can retain your position across administrations, even though of course it is a political appointment. It depends on the magnanimity or the generosity of the administration of the day. Because I remember in 2010
when of course your middle managers or management would have had a legitimate expectation. Yes, they have a contract, but you know there is a mechanism to buy out these contracts because these are political appointees, even though you have a contract. And what the Prime Minister then, Kamala Prasad, left them there. And when they were left there, after about two years or so, was for the first time these people got together and they decided to sue the government because they had a legitimate expectation built in to the length of time that they remained there, or they were allowed to remain there as political appointees, and so created some complications, I'm afraid that way, for the government of the day, while of course there were other persons who were attached to the government of the day couldn't get these positions because the government was magnanimous enough to leave them there and say, well, because they see it as victimization. No, that is how it is. Donald Trump, he gets the presidency, he moves in with his team. Biden, if he but he can't get an next chance, but when he got his chance, he moved in with his team. That is how it goes. It's adversary politics. But the principle is that it's only your people could execute your policies and program, because at the end of the day, you have to answer after 5 years to the electorate as to how you perform based on maybe a manifesto or your policies that you would have implemented during the course of what I consider to be the electoral cycle. And that is how it is.
Good morning,
Lennox, concerning the fish fries, right?
Good morning,
I know that the process.
Andy, I have a complaint on. I want some help to find out how to go along.
Hello, we lost City. Go ahead.
Yeah, Lennox, right? Concerning the fish fries and carnage, right? There's a state enterprise, right? And we knowing that how the process was handed out to the public, right? Or the persons, 80% of the persons that are occupying that board is political appointees. There was on boards, state boards, they had PNM membership, right? Is the Ministry of Fisheries will be looking into that facility, right? And doing a process that people will do a fair process for people to go through to get back these boats, right? Or it will be stay like that, right? Second opinion, I heard that the Friday before the election, URP or CPF workers signed contract for 3 years. Only anything about that? How that will phase out? If it's true,
treat with them because these will be political appointees. All you do, you buy out the remaining of their contracts, and that's it. And you get space to put your people to execute the policies of the new government. Now, in the first instance, that is a different situation altogether. For example, if you as an ordinary person, whether you're connected to PNM or not, but because of the PNM probably you got favored to, let's say, own a booth in, let's say, the Market Mall, right? No government could come in and take you out of there, because you are really and truly a private person who, of course, is doing business, and therefore you're lucky that you got it at a time when your government, let's say, was in office, and you got favored. But it is yours, and therefore I would be surprised if anybody would try to take it from you to, of course, give it to somebody else because a new government come in place. However, the people who are making the decisions, the people who would have been making decisions, certainly they would get the axe. They would get the axe because, of course, a new government has come in. And about the board that would have been, at the time, organized for their friend to get a boot. You can't kick out the friend from the boot, because that is not considered to be political at that point in time. But certainly, you can, of course, get rid of the board because those are strictly political appointees. And therefore, the new board could probably
do things in such a way so as to get their own, to get, of course, boots and so on. That's how it works.
All right, partner. If I take your call again, that'll be 3 times. I'm taking a call. We got to move on. We got to get somebody else. We got to get somebody else a chance. Organize and get on to Lennox, because you will know to go on to Lennox. And because we know you from Carnage, and bring the information necessary dealing with the employment aspect of it. He'll let you know about the boots situation already too.
You can make it difficult. You know, a person owing rent twice or so, you tell them, listen, well, you know, going too much rent, the board make a decision to get rid of you, so you could put in your people. You have all of those nuances that you could deploy. But to say that that is a political appointee and automatically that person to give up the boot, no, it won't work.
Good morning.
It doesn't work like that.
Lennox, Mikey, Andy, everyone on the line. Lennox, can I call you after the program? I have some issues and I need to speak to you privately. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Andy, you can give them the number.
The scene right there, that green ticker was at the bottom of Lennox there, that green ticker. We've seen fluorescent green ticker, you'll see the number going to move slow.
6940, yes, that's my number, you get me out, yeah.
All right, 337-6940.
Hi, Andy, Mikey K, Lennox Smith, you all guys, good morning. I'm a first-time caller. I've been listening to you for years now, it's on 104.7. I want to ask one question. Rowley raised his pay, his pension, he raised everything where money is concerned on him. He here and here and all he raised. But I want to know one thing. He's church all of them. How this government coming here now, my girl, the queen, the mother of the nation, Kamala, the sister, if she cannot cut it, because she's in power now, she's in office, just as how he is in power and he raised it, she gets in power now. If she could cut it off and bring it down to the level what he's supposed to get. So when you get my voice note, my WhatsApp message, whenever, please respond back to me and let me know if it could cut, because I feel it could cut. He can be above the law, above everything. So let me know. Thank you.
Well, I think
all right.
The address that Lennox, because I don't know Kamala Pasabi says to the Honorable Prime Minister already. Address that. It's not just like that. It's not just simple. That done gone.
And that is nestled in the fundamental law, the Constitution. Your salary is considered to be your possession, and you cannot, of course, take people's possession away from them. This is how you cannot take the person with the boot in the market possession from them, because it's their possession. So no, she could do nothing about it. However, if there is another salary review issue that will be brought before the new administration, she can say, well, listen, I'm not considering it at all, and go back to where it is until the next time comes. I think it is time specific or period specific, meaning that after a certain amount of years or time, you have these reviews coming up from time to time. And if you are in government, which I expect that this government will continue to be for a very long time, and then, of course, it means, therefore, people's salary will not be raised for a very long time, especially if the economy is doing badly.
Especially if the economy is doing badly, you say?
Yeah, especially if the economy is doing badly.
Hold 1 minute, right?
Like Rowley.
Hold 1 minute.
For the economy to be that bad and still raise the salary, yeah.
Hold 1 minute. Minister Philip Alexander, we have been talking about lands and state lands and all those various things, because we know you are thrown out to Minister about people being able to pay like $500 a month mortgage or rent and those kind of things. And people talking about EMBD and land on the whole, land on the whole. Lennox Smith, what do you want to explain the minister? Why?
Yes, of course, we have been laboring very intensely this morning with respect to, of course,
real estate.
Why it is, because somebody asked why it is a piece of land being allocated to someone, the person still have to depend on the state to of course, build a starter house, for example. We have that. And of course, the price of real estate in the country and the exploitative nature of some of those who have, and of course, provide exorbitant prices, or should I say rent, across the board, whether it's commercial or otherwise. It's in that context the discussion traveled. So we just wanted a perspective from you, who is now, of course, one of the ministers in the Ministry of Housing, to, of course, just give your input and your perspective, and to some extent that of policy of the present government.
Well, gentlemen, thanks for having me. I wasn't expecting to be on the radio because I was literally calling Andy. But thanks for having me. Good morning to all your listeners. Morning, Lennox. Morning, Andy. Morning, whoever is there.
Thank you, my friend. Yes.
Well, everybody would be aware it is the policy of this Prime Minister, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bissessar, that we get people in their homes. She wants that. We have a mandate. She put 3 super ministers in her ministry. We're waiting on the schedule. We gathering information. You all would have seen HTC putting out information, myself, Honorable Minister Lee and others on the road gathering information, fact-finding to see where we are. We're doing a lot of research right now. My team is in the office. We're doing a lot of research as to availability of information and stuff. The intention is to perfect the list, get the place functional so that we could start to get people in their homes. Those who trying to acquire land, we're going to work with them to see who qualifies here, there, where, and make sure that it happens. There are going to be some policy changes to make it easier, quicker, faster, better, cheaper, any which way that we could do to help the citizenry. That is the mandate from the Prime Minister. So we're on course for that. Long hours, day and night, but in the very, very near future, you will start to see and hear more in the public space as these plans and policies come to fruition.
Oh, nice.
Magnificent. And just to give us a philosophical background, because some a caller, as I said, has some concern. I suspect that because she probably worked hard and got her own, why it is that the government has to, of course, start and finish, provide land and still provide, let's say, a starter house. What is the philosophical
it depends on the person's situation.
That?
Yeah, but it depends on the person's situation. At the end of the day, we're not trying to judge, we're trying to help. We want to make sure that those who are desperate, who are genuinely need help get help. We're trying to make sure that we just trying to take advantage of the system. We found a lot of those, we're dealing with them. You know, so these things have to happen. I want to say to you, the last government was very good at taking names, but they weren't good at building houses. They weren't good at delivering. So the HCC became more of our names registry than anything else. We meet a list of about 195,000 people. And I go through that list, make sure everything is copacetic, sensible, factual, identify those in most need, bring them up to front, get them taken care of. That's the plan. So if somebody's asking, why should somebody get land and then get assistance from the state? Look, we're trying to solve a massive problem here. We have a massive problem to solve. And the best way to solve it is identify where the need is, and we do our part to facilitate that need without judging. None of us should be judging one another right now. Trinidad is 3 times the size of Singapore. Yet our population is not even a third of the population of Singapore. The population of Singapore is 5.2 million people. About 70% of those people live in government housing. And Singapore is one of the most successful countries in the world. Home ownership. We know the science says, put people in homes and crime comes down. We spend the equivalent of being able to build 20,000 homes a year on national security. We could redirect those resources. We could redirect how the society is run. The last government made a mess. The places in that state of collapse and failure. But thankfully, we have a Prime Minister who has a clear vision. She knows what she wants done. She's put it to us, put the people first, put God in front and walk behind. That's our 2 mandates. We handle that.
All right, well, it looked like I was calling me privately. So right after the program, I'll call you back privately, Mr. Minister.
buddy.
And you keep up the good work. You keep up the good work that you
Thank you,
intend to
brother.
do for the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.
Yes. My name is Philip Alexander, people, of course, a member of the Coalition of Interest, talking to us. I happen to be, of course, making a call, but we thought we should take advantage, as we normally would do. Not just him, it could have been the Prime Minister and all. We would have done the same thing, because it is about, of course, bringing information and therefore disabusing notions that one may harbor that may not be consistent with what the government is pursuing. And on the other hand, of course, bring clarity to issues that you may have been in a state of bewilderment or puzzlement at one time or another. So I want to thank Philip for, of course, the Honorable, I should say now, Honorable Minister of Housing, or Honorable Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Mr. Philip, for, of course, taking time to off his busy schedule to talk with us.
And answer, I see the missed calls. I thinking, well, he was calling to be a part of the program, hearing about land and house, however.
Yeah. I realized because of the conversation, but it was a confluence of accidents.
Yeah. So I'll go call him back in a bit, man. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Maybe to put on a board or something, or if there's any board that put on the board with dealing with squatters. Anyhow, kicks again. Anyhow, time check. It's 2 minutes to the hour of 10 o'clock. And you're listening to the ground report. We have to lock off exactly at 10 today. Exactly at 10. Because due to the weather, my very, very bright daughter ended up getting leave out by the bus. And she have to go to school. So I have to go pick up and carry her because I have an exam today a little after lunch. So she'll still have time. So Trinidad and Tobago, don't forget tonight, Corridor Transformation, yours truly, Lennox Smith. Whatever voice notes I have, I'll play those voice notes tomorrow, please God. Time check! It's exactly a minute to the hour of 10 o'clock. I must say a pleasant good morning again to those of you that look on to us in Guyana, the Caribbean, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago. You all could have choose anyway else to look on, but you all choose your very own Guyana. The underground report. I'm Andy Williams, better known as a pitbull of radio. On behalf of my co-host who is right here, Lennox Smith, and Michael Cowart, you all will see soon. Until tomorrow, please God, from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and joining us on Guile, joining us from 7 a.m. We are out of here.
And for the person who is inquiring about Mickie, well, if he is going to be the Speaker of the House, well, of course, we won't tell you that yet. We will wait for you to see. But of course, rest assured, he is part and parcel of the ground report.
Yes. Oh boy, we will see all boy. We want to see all boy. If Mickie has Speaker in the House, you will make a very, very, very good one.
Oh yes, indeed. I have no doubt in my mind. All right, people, thanks very much, of course, for that morning session. I think it's wonderful and very informative and exhilarating.
Nice.
Oh, Lord.
The Ground Report with Mickie K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.